Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is DJP, and this is the one, the only Club Exhale.
Don't know what you want, I need to know. Don't pick up the phone when I try to call. Tell me what is wrong or what is right. What is right? 'Cause now it's too late, too late, too late, too late, now it's too late, too late, too late, too late, now it's too late. Shadows look like you. I gotta forget, find something new. There's no going back for you and I. 'Cause now it's too late, too late, too late, too late, now it's too late, too late, too late, now it's too late.
Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Ali the Persian, or better known in these parts, especially on Club Exhale, DJP up in this house. You know me, and that is right. This is the Finn's Tailgates club time, bro. We're gonna get down. We're gonna get busy. I got some boys in the back. I'm gonna be dropping the link. Training camp. It was Members Day, right? Members Day, got all the fans excited. You had the garage sale, people fighting over chairs, literally fighting over chairs. I got myself a $300 jersey for the right price, a big time offensive lineman that we absolutely needed at this point. He's not going to be able to come here. We'll get into that a little bit later. We have a lot to talk about: the good, the bad, the ugly. We're also going to talk about that thing that keeps haunting us every season. It's known as the injury bug. And here it is again, making it stop, just like Santa Claus on Christmas Eve, dropping gifts, except it's dropping players. There's a huge list of players that we're going to be missing. We're going to talk about it. Should the Miami Dolphins do something about it? What have they done about it? We will definitely get into that. Everybody hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on the notification bell. Let's get ready. Let's get started. With that being said, Shake Money in the house and Color. How you both doing? How you guys doing?
What's going on, man? Another beautiful day in Zamunda.
That is right. How's it going, Color? How you doing? Color might be muted. All right, Color. Well, hopefully you're doing well. Everybody in the chat, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing well. We already got a $10 donation. What is everyone's record prediction? Well, where I'm at right now, and I said this before training camp, and I'll say it again, I'm still less than 9 games. That's where I'm at. So, you know what that means? We could be 8-9 or 7-10. I'm saying we're winning less than 9 games. That's where I'm at. So thank you for the $10 donation, Mondo. Let's see who else is up in here. We got Nene. How's it going, Nene? Raphael Courtright, how you doing? Michael K, nice to see you. Dolphinier, how's it going? Scott Jackson, how you doing, sir? What else we got up in here? Somebody over on the Kick side. Anybody on Kick, if you're watching, come over to the YouTube side, right? Subscribe, join the chat, hang out with us, have a good time. Make sure you hit the like button. How's it going, Jimmy Reichard? Who else do we have? Lewis. Thank you very much, Lewis. I appreciate you. Lewis, thank you for coming and hang out with us for a bit. The smell of victory. Candles will only be lit 6 times at most in 2025. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I agree. So we went for a couple of weeks of euphoria because a couple of free agent moves and whatever else, camp started, and we get to see a couple of guys look good in pajamas and whatever else. And all it took was a couple of injuries, which are inevitable for us to be right back to where we were 3 weeks ago, which is 2-9 at the bye. I don't know how many times I gotta say it, but that's where we're at.
Damn. All right. Thank you for explaining that, Color.
I'm not sore about it because I was already ready for it. I didn't get on the recent couple week hype train we've been on.
I gotcha. To be fair, I'm not on the hype train either. For the most part.
Hey, our coaching could come through and we could still have a great season. I'm not saying that's not possible.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying.
You just have too many unknowns to make that prediction right now.
And let's actually talk about some of those unknowns, right? So one thing that I will say is a good thing that I've seen in camp this year, I've seen unexpected players taking the next step, or at least taking what they have, their chance and running with it.
Yeah, well, some of them are positive unknowns. I really love the unknown possibility of our running back room. I think it's great.
I will say that that's part of one of these surprises. Alexander Madison has continued to surprise me.
Yeah, I think he's a perfect fit. Like his whole career is culminating in this run in Miami, bro. I think that was a good move.
Now it definitely is. Definitely. I mean, if you looked at it,
player was always solid at Minnesota. Like, you know what I mean? Just whatever, pulling up behind Dalvin Cook. Nothing to right. Like, you're not going to see him in the Hall of Fame, but a good, solid, intelligent, mature player. That's what we need. 53 of those, and we'll be there.
For me, Color, it's more like when we looked at that signing, we were like, this guy's probably going to be looking. He's just a camp body. He's a fourth string running back.
Well, only to the untrained eye, but yeah,
I get you, but you and I had these conversations, right? So now seeing him perform in camp and how he can be used in this offense, it's pretty remarkable. I'm like, damn, man, this guy is putting in more work than the guy that I know you're all about, Jalen Wright, right? He hasn't really stepped up.
Well, that's
to the
still the
plate.
veteran, the 4 or 5 year veteran advantage over Jalen Wright. You know what I mean? Maybe
Okay,
3
I'll
years. I
give
don't
you
know
that.
exactly, but
being a second season, you know they're going to focus on the run, and you still haven't really,
oh well,
again, made your move yet. That's kind of concerning to me for Jalen.
We got to see, bro. It's still camp, but here's the thing: Madison is a really good runner, dude. He has been since he entered the league, bro. He's been, he's a guy a lot like Tony Pollard. Actually, probably better than the guy that's hyped up over him when he got in the league. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
In Pollard's case, it was Zeke. Maybe not better, but performing better. And look, Madison hits the hole hard. He hits it fast, and he does it 100% of the time.
Yeah, I definitely hear that. Here's another guy that kind of surprised me is Willie Gay. Willie Gay is all over the place. Doesn't matter.
Again, another guy we hear his name being called every Sunday with all the teams he's played on. We shouldn't be surprised.
You're actually right. No. But there are people that are very surprised about that. I knew he was going to be an okay signing, but I was more looking at Jordan Brooks and Ty Dotson. You know what I'm saying? That's who I was kind of like thinking was going to be running the show. This linebacker core is starting to become something, and just where he left off the last time I was at camp, he's already had it. He had a pick 6 today. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's surprising. But here's the biggest one. The biggest surprise so far is a couple things. Number one, the speed of none other than Tanner Connor. Tanner Connor has started to, they're giving him first team reps at tight end.
Did he slim up and wing out?
He does look kind of chubby. He's kind of a bulkier version of himself. But I want to say he had the most catches today at camp. He had the most receptions. And Tua went to him like 3 or 4 times in a row during the summer.
It's interesting because if he just makes one catch for Skylar Thompson, Skylar gets a win against the Jets. I mean,
and he had one of the best catches out of all of the receivers.
Word. We already got it popping in here from Mondo.
Man, you see, here comes El Cap fashionably late.
I mean, listen, I had to scarf down some food. I was
Mondo should get double for his money since you're late.
Were you worried that Grumpy was going to be up here already? Because that's what I heard. Grumpy has a ticket to this panel, by the way. Once he comes up, he says he's going to address you.
Mondo should get
I don't know why Grumpy looking for it. I don't know why he looking for it. He need to get some more tattoos if he gonna be ready for the kid. I'm just saying, fuck around.
Damn, did you just call him old on top of it? He did. No. Did you know what he said? If he needs to be ready for the kid, talking about how he's younger than Grumpy.
That's right. Watch out.
Mondo should get double for his money since you're late. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Mean, I guess so. Why not? I like Mondo. Mondo's one of the homies. I talked to him the other day.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be drinking tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize, but I've drinking a lot the last 2 days. In fact, we pretty much killed a whole bottle of tequila at the training camp today. In fact, you can ask Grumpy and them. We finished the last half of it right before we left. And I was drinking all Friday night, by the way. I sent some drunken pictures, I think, to the group chat.
I see.
That was a wild, spicy night.
So, Cap, how much air has been let out of you after these injury reports, bro?
You know what? What does Mike McDaniel say? Adversity creates opportunity. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of opportunity now.
Let's see, baby. There's tons of opportunity around here.
Right? So we look at all of the players that are injured now. Cater Kahu's out for the season. D. Eskridge, who was starting to make a name for himself being Zach Wilson's number one receiver. Now he's going to be out with substantial time. Austin Jackson, who now has a lower extremity issue, he'll be out for some time. Ashton Davis, we saw him on the cart today. One of those scooters that they ride with the boot, and all that. He's going to be out. Keep going. Go ahead.
I was going to say, they were talking about it being closer, but it doesn't look close to me.
It don't look close to me.
It don't look close. Yeah.
So you got that issue. Then you had, and I know he says he's okay, but you might want to knock on wood. Nothing else happens. Jalen Phillips had a knock on his knee today, right? So you got that going on. Who else?
Austin Jackson.
Austin Jackson, I mentioned. There's other players I know I'm not thinking of that got injured.
Ifontu, Cater Kohu, Liam Eichenberg, D. Estridge, Byron Matos, Artie Burns. We lost earlier on.
Yeah,
it's an absolute beating, boys.
It is an absolute beating. So not only does that happen, so what do you're kind of worried about all these injury issues. Well, the Dolphins didn't waste time. They brought in like 5 or 6 offensive linemen and worked them out today, right? Guys I've never even heard of, to be fair.
All right. Well, you got some names? You got some names?
Good thing, Ali.
You got some names or what?
I've never heard of some of these guys. So let me bring these names up to you.
Who else we never heard of?
Guys like Zach Bailey, the offensive guard, Chris Hubbard, and I apologize if I don't say this correctly, so please don't laugh or be mad at me. Yodny Kajutste, German Ifedi, and
David. He's good.
Yeah, I think Color likes that guy right there. German Ifedi.
I think is how you pronounce it or something. He's
I don't know. I don't know how you say it, and I apologize. I apologize to that person. No disrespect. But these are guys I personally haven't heard of. Right, I think I've heard of Chris Hubbard, maybe him, but that's about it.
Yeah,
right?
I think Hubbard I've heard of, but
beyond that,
I don't know. Thinking of Chuba though.
But it's interesting that they're all like offensive tackles and guards, right? That's what these guys are. They are worried. I kind of think they're worried about their offensive line now, because this is where we're at. It did not look good on the left side of that offensive line today, nor has it looked good the last couple of days, from what I'm understanding. Without Austin Jackson there, I saw a couple bull rushes on that side. And if you want to go inside, the guy who's filling in for Daniels, because I don't think Daniels is fully running right now.
He's been practicing, but I think they're still working him in.
I think they're working him in too. That guy didn't look good either. The guy that was filling in for him. I think it's Keon
Smith. Yeah, Keon Smith.
He don't look good.
Yeah.
The other side, and it continues. Patrick Paul still continues to be the dominant predator over there. He's the beast.
Thank God.
The guard that we got, Jonah, he looked decent too. He's kind of holding his down as well. So the left side looks good. The right side, not so much. So I saw today our quarterback would be sacked or blasted a couple times. At one point, Zach Wilson was so pissed at the offensive line, he threw the ball away. Coach McDaniel had to come running to him to calm him down. He was so pissed.
Really?
Is
Yes.
he
that
starting
happened.
to care? Is that what you're saying, Ali? He's starting to care?
Well, I will say that Zach Wilson cares. He was pissed at the offensive line because right when he snapped it, they were already in his face. He got less time than Tua does on average. You know what I mean? He was pissed.
Man gets treated like garbage in New York for his whole career, and all of a sudden he cares.
Well, I don't know what to tell you there, but that happened. Then what else did I see? Jalen Wright, we talked about him a little bit earlier, Color. Jalen Wright fumbled the ball today. It wasn't good for him. He didn't do himself any favors.
Well, can't be fumbling the ball.
Unless you're
Raheem Mostert or Alec Ingold. If you're one of them two guys, you can fumble all you want.
Yeah, so it didn't look good for those guys. The tight ends, except for Tanner Connor, did not look good. Tanner Connor looked really good. Nobody in the other tight end room looked pretty good at all, in my opinion. And one of the best throws, if you wanted that, who threw the best? In my opinion, one of the best throws was a Quinn Ewers throw, believe it or not. He rolled out, I want to say to his left, and he threw crossbody. It was like a 25 yard pass.
Yeah, evading some pressure. I seen the video.
To Tanner Connor. Connor had a big catch on that. That was a nice throw. One thing I will say, it's different. The way that you see Tua throw, and then you look at Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers and how they throw.
Yeah, it's like normal.
There's more zip on the ball. I'm not saying that that gives lead to Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson saying they're better than Tua. Not saying that. I'm one of those critics for Quinn Ewers, big time Quinn Ewers critic.
No, but it's obvious that they can get the same distance with a lot less effort. That's the main thing, Ali. It's effort. The amount of effort required to get the ball to certain range.
I want to say the biggest difference is ball placement and accuracy. That's like the biggest difference right now.
Well, the more effort you have to put in to get velocity, the less accurate you become, the less you can pay attention to all the other little things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So that's like the biggest difference. But I want to say, like, for me, who stood out the most, Quinn Ewers definitely stood out. And in addition, Alexander Madison and Tanner Connor, those guys really stood out today. Everybody else, it wasn't great. Biggers got hurt today too. I almost forgot about that.
I heard he got poked in the eye.
A whole lot of I don't want to be there today on a Saturday.
Like motherfucker, he was pissed. Got poked in the eye and they had to take him. Go ahead.
What do you think? It sounds like a whole bunch of I don't want to be here on a Saturday going on today.
Put a name on it, Color.
It was brutally hot today. I don't know how it was this morning, but it was brutally hot today. We were just driving home from Denny's, 9:00 at night, 9 p.m. people, and my car thermometer, driving in a cool breeze, was reading 91 degrees.
Oh shit, dude! I should be reading 100 sometimes.
This was after driving for a little bit in the cool air. You know what I mean? 91 degrees still.
So according to my phone, it said that it was 88 degrees outside, but it felt like 96.
God, at like 9:00 at night, dude.
And this was like around 8:00 in the morning. Because they opened the gate at 7:30 in the morning now.
9:30, it's already going to be cooking past 90, bro.
It was nuts, bro. It was hot. But those fans, to be honest, being in the shade under the overhang and everything.
But there's no fans over the field.
No, there isn't.
I was just speaking as to why there was some lackluster practice today. Possibly.
Maybe it could be. It could be. I
was just saying. It was brutally.
Hot. It's hot out here, and I'm a pro athlete.
Saturday, bro, and the family is out at the
Saturday, and I gotta be at work because I'm a pro athlete.
Yes, bro. What are you talking about, man?
I don't care, dude. I don't want to hear none of that. Hit the like button, everybody.
Please do.
Ali, donate for the shots. Let's get the music popping, Ali. It's time to get this thing popping.
I put the link in the group chat, by the way.
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah. I'm getting.
What up, Jimmy?
I need to backpedal because I'm starting out, defending Tyreek and trying to come up with reasons why everybody sucked today. Am I turning into a pussy, bro?
Mm-hmm. Color's becoming to a sexual right before our very eyes.
I mean, am I getting pussified?
Yeah, America's pussification of America, Color. You're en route.
What happened, bro?
You need to go get a Starbucks coffee right now.
A latte? Is that what they call it? A latte?
So basically, what you're saying is that Color is a POA. Pussification of America.
That's it. The POA.
It happens without you even knowing it, bro.
No, you know it. You just don't really. It's hard, man.
First of all,
we're
cavemen.
Just so you know, you don't go to Starbucks to get coffee, by the way. They don't make coffee at Starbucks. They give you an experience and then they say, oh, try our coffee, but it's really not coffee. Gonna point that out.
How do I get back? That's what I need to know. I don't want to be this anymore.
Welcome to the show, Tom. Can someone pin the link at the top, because when I start bringing people up, I want it pinned. If you could do that.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank
Yo,
you.
yo.
So yeah, those were my observations today. A lot of injuries, some not really good throws. There's some points where Tua just threw it in the dirt or just held on to the ball and said the play's broken, forget it, and just walked away.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about this, Ollie. Put a 1 in the chat if you think I'm too far gone.
Oh wow. I'll make a poll, Keller.
Because if I'm too far gone, then I mean it's all over with. I might as well just pack it in.
Shake, how you doing, man?
Thank you, G. I appreciate it, G.
Shake is I guess Shake is not at his computer. But
what was the question?
No, I was gonna tell you that wasn't that one of the biggest twist of events at SummerSlam, or no?
Nah, I didn't see it.
Oh, I won't say nothing then. Never mind.
What happened? Did Hogan come back to life?
Somebody came back, but it wasn't not Hogan, obviously, but still.
Andre the Giant?
No, Andre the Giant passed away a long time ago, my friend.
You know,
Are we
you know,
sure?
you want to know who Hulk Hogan's last match was?
Who was it?
With The Undertaker.
Oh, that makes sense. Undertaker ends everybody's career.
That's funny, bro. That's funny.
That's how they secretly got the measurements.
So, damn, that's fucked up, Tonk. Hit the like button, everybody. Link is
Undertaker went out there with a tape measure.
And get in the poll if you think color is what did I put in the poll? Has color become soft? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. We can get him back, or he's lost. Go ahead. And
What about? Never mind.
that's it. Those are the 4 choices. We ain't doing nothing else. Done. Hit the like button. Donate for some more shots. I'm gonna finish this one up, and then I'll be thirsty again. So make sure you guys are donating for the shots. Hitting the like button. Hit the likes up. And subscribing if you're new. Shout out to everybody in chat. I see you all in there chatting it up, partying it up, getting ready to go.
I got something to show you guys. Let me go get it. Cap,
right.
Hold down the show for 1 second.
I got it. We getting it down.
I'm gonna have to go hike the Grand Canyon again or something.
Color gonna have to go ahead and hit a slew of strip clubs and hike the Grand Canyon and do a Navy SEALs training to get his softness out of himself. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Again,
I might even
subscribe
go swimming in Crater Lake.
And welcome to Late Night Exhale.
Crater Lake. What are you, in Oregon?
Yeah, Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, dude. We ain't doing none of that shit. We having a good time. Make sure you guys, again, hitting that like button. We're waiting for Ali to come back and hold it down. Donations for the shots. Let's kick it.
Big wants to get in on Trainng.
All right, what you got, Ali?
Hold on a second. I gotta fix my camera.
Yeah, you do.
We'll see what he thinks about the Heat and the players having a bad
Tunsil jersey. Where you had stole that from?
Well, the garage sale was today.
Oh, word.
Yeah, dude. I got Tunsil, and a bunch of other stuff. I basically took the $40 deal as much as you could stuff in a bag.
Damn.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. But this is not like the $119 jerseys that you can buy. These are the actual player worn, like $350, $400 jerseys.
Yeah, the ones you get in the player store at the fucking stadium, very much.
Yeah, they're actually sewed on patches and everything. You get the whole 10 yards. So, yeah, it was pretty dope.
Carlo, we're not taking a hot pepper challenge, dude. That's crazy. And welcome back, Carlo. We always know you're watching. We always miss you. We know you're watching.
Carlo,
What is it texting with the hot pepper challenges?
if you would like to do Satan's Toe Challenge, we would be glad to host it here on TFTG. We could put you on camera and you can take one of those Satan's toes and suck on it and see
if you hallucinate.
I don't know. That's a challenge.
You talking about those toads you lick and hallucinate?
Maybe. I don't know. It's called Satan's Toe. It's supposed to be really spicy.
You ain't done nothing. If you haven't taken the Satan's Sperm Challenge, you ain't done nothing.
You said a toad like a frog.
No, toe like your toes.
Well, Ali, if you haven't taken the Satan's Sperm Challenge, you ain't done nothing yet.
Whoa.
Well, I don't take any sperm, bro. So I'm never doing that challenge. Now I'm starting to wonder if color really is POA.
Hold on.
Remember that when you're voting in the poll, everybody. Go ahead,
let
color.
Me tell you, hold on. Before you vote in the poll, let me tell you what the Satan's Sperm Challenge is.
Gross.
Take some plumber's PVC glue and drip some of it in your eye. That's the Satan's Sperm Challenge.
Who made that up?
Plumbers.
Plumbers are dropping freaking glue in their eyes
on purpose.
Oh, so it's happening on accident.
If you get some of that plumber's glue like flung in your eye, accident. You will know what it's like for Satan to jizz in your eye.
On that note, everybody take a shot.
Yeah, let's.
It's got the same consistency, bro. That's why they call
it.
To
be fair, I don't want to know how it feels for anyone to jizz in anyone's eye. To be honest,
regardless of the consistency.
I'm just saying that pure acid would probably hurt worse.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Well, you can. I mean, you're welcome to find out for us, color.
Look. I have had the plumber's glue in the eye, so I know how it is.
Oh, yeah,
I don't need to compare it to anything else.
Color admitting to sexual assault.
You know
being sexually assaulted.
I got a feeling. I got a
from that cow.
Oh, look what the cat drug in.
Oh,
look what the cat drug in. What up, Big Nick?
What up?
Oh yeah, here we go.
I told you all he was back there. Damn. Making the man wait.
No, man.
Oh, I didn't know.
Sorry, I didn't even know he was up there.
I'm not coming up for any controversy. I'm actually coming up for a good cause. I'm being Big Nick, South Florida Accountability today. I've never come on anybody's platform and asked them to participate in anything that I do. But y'all are my friends, so I decided to give you guys an opportunity. This is the 5th year of the Big Nick's annual Back to School Backpack Drive. As a flyer on my channel, last year we did 75. That was our highest total ever. We're doing this strictly just me and my kids, and we got 75 last year. My son is going to kindergarten this year for the first time, so I'm dedicating it to all kindergartens. We're building kindergartners back to school book bags with all the supplies. So I'm coming here. I wanted to know if you guys can help me promote it because it starts Monday. It starts Tuesday all the way up until right up until Friday. Because school is back the following Monday. So I'm just trying to get up to my biggest goal, 150 backpacks.
So start the promotion here and tell us what somebody has to do to participate.
Well, the only thing I'm just asking for people, I don't care if it's 50 cents, $1, anything to help, because we got a great partner that's giving us for $50. We're able to provide 6 backpacks to kids. So for every $50, that's 6 backpacks. It's basically $48 to get 6 backpacks.
And how does one donate?
If you go to my channel, it's there. Got my link for my Cash App, my PayPal there.
Here it is, right here.
You can also, and you can also, that's it. Thank you so much. And you can also go and look at my previous videos and see how the backpack turnout worked out. Everything that I collect for these type of causes, 100% goes to that cause.
So if we get 5 people to donate $10, we got how many backpacks?
That's 6 book bags. That's 6 backpacks. So
our partner quality bags, the good quality bags.
They're great bags. Absolutely. Right. I wouldn't stand by. I wouldn't give you a bag that's going to break in the first day.
I knew you wouldn't. I was just asking.
He's giving you the radio thing right now.
So I'm partner. I got a partner, Speedy's grocery store here in South Florida. They're providing all of the materials, the paper, the glue, the pencils, the rulers,
filled with school
all of
supplies.
that.
Oh shit.
They're providing all of that. And then I got a cousin. When we do the backpack giveaway, if you guys want to come, it's all information is on the flyer, but it's gonna be bounce houses, free food. It's gonna be entertainment, and we're working on some type of giveaway. So it starts Tuesday, so the deadline is running out for us to get these book bags.
And
but
when's the shindig for it? When's the shindig for it?
It starts. What do you mean the shindig?
You said there was going to be like bounce house and all that, and like party
it's gonna
going
be.
on?
So it goes from the 5th. It goes from the 5th to the 8th. So every day that we're out there, that we're gonna be doing it, we're gonna have
Sort of
all
like
of
a
that.
block
I don't know
party?
the bounce house. I don't know if the bounce house is gonna be there every day, but it's gonna be
Right,
music.
but it's kind of like a
food,
block party for a couple of days.
kind of, sort of, more like a festival, I guess you could say.
Right on. Right on.
So the reason why I decided to do the backpack giveaway because, first of all, I'm all about advocacy and I'm all about accountability. And I don't believe accountability is only for us holding the government accountable, but accountability also means having your communities back. And when I was a child growing up in the 80s, when backpacks got popular, I never in my life had a backpack to go to school.
Me neither.
Never.
You didn't even get one of those ones without the padded straps, the cheap ones.
Never had a backpack. I never had a backpack. I always wanted one. Let me tell you what I did. I took the backgammon board game. I took the little wooden slots out of it, and I turned that into a briefcase, and I carried that to school. But I always wanted a backpack. I always wanted a backpack. I never had a backpack, so that's so near and dear to my heart to make sure that these kids never experience that.
Yeah, man, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, one other thing, Big Nick, did you get over yourself and sign Long Island's petition or what?
Long Island audits?
Yeah. Did you get over and sign
I
his
don't have a
petition?
problem with Sean. I know Sean personally. Me and Sean been featured on the
Did you get it? Did you throw on sign his petition? He's got like 300,000 signatures or something now.
I haven't seen it. I've been so busy organizing this.
Well, you saw what happened with him in that Connecticut trooper.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know it. Like I talked to Sean. I know. I haven't spoken with him in a couple of months, but I know Sean personally.
Well, you let him know that he's got
right
allies
there,
at the tailgate, bro.
I've got the website up there right now. It's bignickbp.com to help go to it. That's what you got.
Speaking of which, can you also repost the it looked like a Twitter flyer?
Listed on there because we couldn't afford to do that. So
and the last thing I'll leave you with for myself, Big Nick, is you just let me know. You say the word anytime you need my physical help with anything, bro. If
anybody's in the Fort Lauderdale area on those dates and you want to come by to Oswald Park and you got something,
I'm talking about with what you do. I'm talking about with what you do with your channel. You just say the word and I'll be anywhere, bro.
Color, it would be a warrior for you, buddy.
I know I told you guys this a couple of years ago, and you probably think I'm just bullshitting, but we finally got almost all of the equipment for the podcast. And Captain already know that he's going to drive the show. But Color, I'm telling you, I told you this. I need a voiceover. So that's what you got it,
bro. You got it for free, bro. For free. I don't need nothing for it.
I like the way Captain drives the show, how he goes from topic to topic. And it's going to be, by the way, I think I told you guys this, or if I didn't, it's going to be myself and Warren Sapp. But I asked Warren Sapp if you want to have a facilitator. He said, hell yeah, he don't direct traffic.
Hell yeah, man. You let me know, Big Nick. I told you, man. I'll help you.
We got their back, bro. We got all their back.
We'll drive that ship, man. It'll be fun. It'll be a good thing.
I like the way you're able to direct traffic. Like when you do your shows, you're able to allow the topics to be there for a few minutes and then you move on to the next topic. And I like that. I'm not able to do that because I spend all day talking about one thing.
Yeah, and I get it. And that's fun to get in them. But when you want to, bring a whole thing, it's hard to do too, but it's cool how if you do it in a certain way, you kind of find like a little formula, and you can see how one topic in the beginning is going to be brought back around again. So if you kind of get bogged down in one topic, you'll actually kind of get in front of what you're going to come to. So there's kind of like a story being told with the topics. Sometimes it's fun.
The other thing, Big Nick, is
I'm gonna tell you, hold on. I'm gonna tell you the
people
best
expect to take shit seriously. You know what I mean? Like people take shit seriously when it's structured like that.
the best guy in the business cap for me right now that's doing it is the guy that facilitates on Gil's Arena. I don't know if you guys watch Gilbert's Arena, the basketball player, but the guy that facilitates that, oh man, he conducts that panel perfectly. He drives that ship perfectly. That's what I want. And I think you can do that as well.
What's it called?
Gil's Arena, former NBA player Gilbert Arenas. He has a large podcast.
Got it. I'm gonna check it out. Oh yeah, you know what? I've seen it, and you're right. His show is the way in which they do it is really, really good. I have seen his show. I like how they what they do in post edit too. Their post edit game is on point.
Our podcast is not going to be centered around what I do as far as my everyday life on YouTube. It will be some elements of that. We will talk about accountability and this, that, and the third. But it's mostly going to be for guys like us, for people like us, everyday Americans. Like, you know who don't get props as far as the economic system goes in this country? The blue-collar workers, the garbage men, the post office workers, the drivers,
the framing crew guy, the painter.
When you go to the
the postal worker.
When you go to the park on Sundays and you see all these guys sitting in their lawn chairs, and they got their coolers, and they got their television, they relaxing. These are all those guys. These are the garbage workers that retired, the postal drivers that retired. These guys put their kids through colleges. They own their own homes. Like, these are real American heroes that the kids are not being presented to.
Yeah, I agree. The postal workers are like the Devontae Parkers.
You don't have to be a heart surgeon. You can be a garbage guy and own your home and put your kids through Harvard.
You are 100%.
I know.
Spot on, big.
Yes.
And you know what it comes down to as well. It's not so much the money, but how in which you conduct yourself, A, in your community, and B, to your family.
And it's fascinating to find out those people you're talking about.
It starts with those American ideals and values of like, treating your neighbor a certain way. And treating your community as such, and you're gonna brush up on each other, but if you find you have more common ground than you do opposing ground, and where that comes from when it pertains to children is how we build better citizens for a better tomorrow, man. That's what the shit's about, dog.
And those people you're talking about, all that group of that demographic, those people you're talking about, Big Nick, these are the
infrastructure of America.
Right. These are the people that can get along with each other. Don't matter what all our politicians say.
They don't give a fuck about none of that.
And all that. You know what I mean?
Well, to me, it's bigger than the political aspect of it. It's more to the point that, hold on 1 second.
He getting some donies right now.
Caller, real quick.
I'm sorry about that. You got my cash out, right? Use my telephone number. So it's bigger than politics for me. For me, it's like kids very seldomly come in contact with millionaire basketball players, football players, millionaire doctors, lawyers, all. But they come in contact with retired UPS drivers, garbage men, postal workers, port workers, grocery store managers. They come in contact with
dudes,
a
plumber.
They come in contact with them more frequently. And these are very successful people in our society. And I think it's a detriment to the kids to try to get them to be Michael Jordan or to be Michael
It's either poor on the street or Michael Jordan rich. There's no in between, and you're trying to show them the in between.
Yep. There's a very happy, fulfilled, good life being one of the people that does their thing and does their family thing. And you're right. There's this bad narrative written for kids to look at. Oh man, if I'm not a Mr. Beast, or I'm not freaking the next big thing in hip hop music, or singer or musician or actor, like, dude, those are like the few and far between. There's plenty of us doing good work and good things and having damn good lives doing it.
Absolutely. If they had an opportunity to see how much a public store manager make, if they see that this public store manager make $140,000 a year, it'll change their mind.
And guess what? What he's got on insurance, you don't even know what they need on some dental and health insurance.
Hey, listen, don't forget the 401k. There's a lot of public managers who retire.
How you gonna retire?
I'm gonna tell you right now,
$500,000 in their 401k.
I'm telling you, my uncle retired as the third man at Publix at 37 years old. Retired.
Yeah,
But
Publix
guys,
a
you
damn
know,
good
you guys
job.
know this is the most talk. This is the most talk those type of workers have gotten in probably this decade. What we're doing right now. This is the
Shit, dog.
most
We're ready
blazing
for the
those guys
fight,
have
Big
gotten.
Nick. Let us know.
He took his retirement from Publix and opened up a car detailing shop at 37 years old. Never looked back.
My grandma was a paralegal, and her boss, when he retired, he gave his firm to his son. But all of the money he saved up being a lawyer was not more than all the money he saved up and sold back in stocks from working as a butcher in Publix for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right.
riddle me that. Go ahead, Ali. Let's get back to the game.
All right.
Get back to the fun.
Before we get back to the fun, there's some. I'm going to poke the bear a little bit.
Uh-oh. Watch out, color.
First of all, El Cap, what's the percentage about color being soft? We have
where we at? Where
we at?
Right now,
Well,
we've
I
got.
want to know from Big Nick.
43%.
If the guys had a bad practice today. Am I soft for pointing out that it was a brutally hot day today and like Saturday?
Before you
Yeah,
go,
color, I voted soft. I voted soft color.
Yeah, but that's only because you don't like me, bro. That's
no, he likes you a lot. What are you talking about?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because no South Floridian should ever complain about the freaking heat when we all hate the fucking cold.
I wasn't complaining about it. I was just saying it's Saturday. I wouldn't make no mountain out of a molehill.
You should never complain about the heat as a South Floridian.
All right.
Yeah, you shouldn't complain.
I'm
about
not a South Floridian, and I never complain about the heat.
Well, I'm looking at the results right now. It's 36% that he has become soft. 27% no, he has not. 14% we can get him back, and 23% that he's all lost.
That means over half say I'm gone.
Yeah, over half. Over half
the
is saying
the
you're
reason
gone.
I wanted an update was because CB83, your best friend, color.
Yeah,
says that he was questioning if you were soft. He actually had to think about it.
He didn't. No, CB83 was saying
he's got
color soft. No,
and he's not even a South Floridian color.
Hey, listen. The only time I complain about the heat is at night because I like to sleep in sub-zero temperatures.
That's true. At night, I do like to sleep that way too. I'm with you, Shake.
I need a fan on, and I need.
You don't want to know what I complain about?
You're in the wrong state, then, Shake.
Yeah,
I just don't think I ain't
complaining about the heat. I hiked the Grand Canyon. What do you mean complaining about the heat? I ain't complaining about nothing. I'm simply saying that I'm not making a mountain out of a molehill for a bad practice today because it's Saturday and it was brutally hot. That's all I'm saying.
You know what color is saying?
In color, you can never South Floridians need to stop comparing Arizona and California to our heat. That's no comparison. There's no comparison.
That's dry out there.
But it's easier out there.
But remember, in the Grand Canyon, they have a subtropical climate zone down near the bottom.
They do.
Man, they're not surrounded by oceans, lakes, rivers, and ponds either.
They got blue herons flying in the Grand Canyon, bro. That's a Florida native bird, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we got the Atlantic on one side and the Gulf on the other side.
Hey, real
you got
quick,
much
though,
more larger bodies of water.
on a real note, I'm sorry, but I kind of think this panel got too soft, so it's time to turn it way up.
Let's go.
The question is, am I salvageable? Am I too far gone? That's the other.
Well,
that's quite the indictment, Ali.
Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade out. Damage, then you gon' pay up. Yo, crank that volume, turn it way up. Get your weapon, get your blade out. Damage, then you gon' pay up.
I got a donation. Let me thank some people. Michael, thank you so much. Gabriel, thank you so much. I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm gonna give the total. They gave $35. Guys, that's 5 backpacks. I'm sorry.
Damn, we're almost up to a full 6 backpacks.
That's 4 backpacks, guys. Thank you so much.
Got you, dog.
Yo, y'all be making the tailgate really proud of y'all if you donate to Big Nick's cause, man.
Please do.
It's all of our cause. It's not just Big.
Hey,
It's
don't worry,
everybody's
Big Nick.
cause.
I'm gonna be sending $10 your way in the next few minutes.
That's what's up. That's what's
I'll get you eventually, Big Nick. I just hit my desktop right now.
No, it's cool. Look, man,
Yeah.
look. My goal is 150,
got
but if we can get 90, if we get 40, I don't give a damn. I'm giving back. You know what I mean? So it's a work in progress. One day, like next year, my goal, not only to double what I'm doing this year and with the supplies, but I also want to give away uniforms next year. The year after the uniforms, I want to give uniforms and shoes. The year after that, I want to get uniform, shoes, and a bicycle, all to make sure that these kids have what they need to get to school. That is my goal, my 3-year goal.
There it is right there, the Cash App and the PayPal to get to Big Nick if you guys want to help, get some school supplies for some of the kids out there.
Definitely donate. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You guys are amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, we got you, brother.
Definitely, we got you.
If there's anything we're going to support, it's that, though.
Definitely. So,
it's where it starts right here, people. You make change by getting involved in your community and dealing with what you can change around you. Ain't nobody up in Washington ever going to do nothing for you.
Nope. Ain't nobody going to clean your streets but your damn self, bro. And that's us. And then once they get clean, then you can start holding motherfuckers accountable in this bitch. Keep them clean,
So, speaking of accountability, what are we going to do to clean up our this offensive line that's starting to...
Oh, my God. Listen, the Dolphins are going to be the most active team come 53-man roster cuts. I got to be honest, if the Dolphins are smart, they're going to have 50 guys on their roster and leave 3 roster spots open for additions to be made in the cornerback room and in the O-line room. That's it. I mean, right now, what are we working with?
You know,
right?
I actually think that's actually going to happen. I'm glad you brought that
agree.
up. I think
this is the insight that I got from Kyle Krabs, Locked On Dolphins, right? Who I think is really good with covering the team. So, we got Patrick Paul, who's turning out to be a stud. We got the rookie Savai Nea. He's going to be a stud. Our center, who hasn't practiced yet, right? He hasn't practiced, and our second string center, he's out on PUP. So that's putting our third string center there, right? And now, which also means since Liam is out and all these other people are out, our swing tackle, who should be practicing that tackle, has to step in to play guard right now. So now we're down to our third or fourth guard. It only looks like that because the guys aren't playing in the right position. I don't think
we just lost our right tackle, and we lost our we lost. I mean, don't get me wrong. We have what's his name, James Daniels, that hopefully is going to play that right guard position. And yeah, if Brewer comes back, it's fine. We're still going to be short a right tackle no matter how we slice it. We're going to be working in a rookie guard.
Can I ask your opinion on something?
I think AJ might be back though.
Real quick, Big Nick. This is like the second
He's
time
going to miss a week for a lower extremity injury.
I've heard you say that the players are not playing in the right positions before. I think I've heard you bring up this argument before. Would you agree that the lost time, the more time that these players are nursing injuries and not there at training camp, takes away from gelling with the surroundings and getting a grip on honing in on their skills to to be I don't want to say brushing rust off.
Communication, bro.
There's communication. There's a lot to going, offensive line. It's not like you can just plug in anybody and it would be a perfect fit and they can play offensive line. Otherwise, you wouldn't see Borum getting blasted or you wouldn't have all these people hating on Eichenberg, right? It takes a lot more. It takes hard work, dedication, timing, communication, as well as building chemistry with your surroundings. All
Eichenberg is a little different.
You're losing that. Isn't that concerning though?
Well, I think if it wasn't the veterans, that was missing this time, it might be more of a concern if it was young guys missing this time. But since it's not young guys, I think these veterans know their role. I think these veterans know how to sit in the classroom and understand assignments. And I think it is not as bad as if they were young guys that was missing this. Like, we're not counting on any young guys to fill these roles. These are all veterans, so I don't think it's as bad if it would be if it was Sabaya Naya or Patrick Paul.
Well, that point leads me to a speculation, and this is just speculation. Is it possible that we're looking at humanity involved in this? I mean, are these season-ending injuries, or are these just, hey, I'm hurt right now. Why not let the new guys get in there and gel? We already know what's going on. But we can't really be held out. So we're just going to be like, yeah, kind of hurting today.
I'm going to use your word, Color. I think the new guys coming in and gelling is a fallacy, because what are they going to play, 20 snaps a game in a perfect world?
Well, what I mean is, we all know the new guys are the ones that need to get up to speed. So I'm not accusing them of faking injuries per se, but when you're hurting a little, I would imagine this early in camp, it's a lot easier to say, hey, you veterans, if you're hurting at all, step aside a second so we can get these guys in here up to speed.
I disagree, Color, because they got snap counts, they got in and out rotations. Right. I don't think you want them to sit if they don't have to sit.
It's entirely okay for you to disagree, bro. That's why I'm asking. I haven't formulated an opinion. I'm just trying to, you know what I mean?
I don't think, unless you're an elite player, I think that holds true. But if you're not an elite player, I can't subscribe to them sitting out to let young guys play. I can't do like
if they were a bunch of Tron Armstead.
You can understand with T-Stead sitting out. Like T-Stead can sit out 2 years to come in and be
I'm saying. If we had 4 or 5 T-Steads sitting out, it would be different. Right. You might think that.
Right. But when we got Austin Jackson, he can't really afford to sit out. He hasn't played that much basketball. Football, my bad. James Daniels is just coming back, but he can sit out because he's established. He's an elite guard, in my opinion. So it's not as important to get him in there, except for, just like you guys say, the communication. But I'm just not a big fan of rushing young guys in. I'm not a big fan of that. They play when they play.
Well, I'll have an exception to that. I'm in the rebuilding mode. I need all the young guys in.
Well, and again, Crypto, when there's a standout,
we're not rebuilding. We're going to win 13 games.
Well, no, that's what you believe. I'm saying what we should be doing.
I just think Miami is guilty of doing that too much. Like, when there's a standout, he's a standout for a reason. Get him on the field. But I do agree, for the most part, you don't have to you shouldn't rush new guys out there. But we are guilty of not getting guys that should be out there. Now with A-Chain, we kind of fixed that problem. We said, you know what? This dude's lightning in a bottle. We're going to get him out on the field, right away. And it worked out. We haven't really done that with
never practiced, right? Mike Pouncey never practiced, right?
You mean like when he first started?
Well, when when he became a veteran in his career, he never practiced. He had a bad back, and he was still all pro.
Right.
T-Stead didn't practice, and he was Pro Bowl. I just don't think it affects veterans as much as it does the young guys. Because these guys know how to be professional. They know how to go in the classroom and listen and recognize the assignment and know what they're supposed to do on any given play. I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive.
No, I don't know. I might be giving
guys.
If the veterans we have feel that way about themselves,
the goats
you and I might.
Hey, Ali, you see the Dolphins sign Jaron Christensen? He used to be with the Dolphins, offensive tackle.
Did we? When we do that today?
Like 20 minutes ago.
I'm trying to find it. Where was it posted?
I forget. Hold on.
Hey, you guys know what's not being talked about? Everybody's talking about our secondary, our young cornerbacks. Can you guys name a secondary on our schedule this year that you guys are afraid of?
Maybe Baltimore.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Crypto, you just a contrarian, man. Nobody ain't listening to you, man.
I'm not contrarian. It's how I feel. It's scary.
You're not afraid of Cincinnati secondary. You're not afraid of Cincinnati.
Definitely not.
They've changed and upgraded.
They've
upgraded. They're not the same.
They couldn't have upgraded that much, Crypto. They were
not the same. None of them secondaries are the same as last year.
Ali, check your Twitter DMs.
You know, zebras don't change their stripes that quick, Crypto. It takes
the Washington Commanders changed overnight. A lot of people change overnight.
Not one group, not the
okay. So for correction, I apologize. El Capitan was correct. Jaron Christensen has been signed, but he signed with the Dallas Cowboys, not the Miami Dolphins.
My fault.
No worries.
My fault. Damn, we're losing again.
Must have got that from HB.
We lost again, bro.
We did lose again, but that's okay. That's all right. They worked out a bunch of people.
You're looking at HB's feed again.
Some of these no-name guys, we might actually sign somebody. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Look, for me, I'm just worried because now it seems like the injury bug has struck us, and it's been striking us like every year.
It is early though, Ali.
Hey guys, thanks to Anthony. Thanks to Anthony. The Finn's Tailgate channel has just helped purchase 6 book bags. Thank you, Anthony.
Awesome, amazing, buddy. That makes me feel good.
By the way, that's me, Big Nick.
Let's get 6 more people.
That was Shake, Big Nick.
Oh, I appreciate you, Shake. Thank you so much. Finn's Tailgate channel. I'm glad I decided because I almost didn't say anything. I'm so glad that 6 book bags. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Got you, dog.
Let's get 6 more.
But no, I'm worried. I get it. I know it's early. I get it. Usually the starters or even the second string don't really play in the first preseason game. I get all that. I get it. Right. But the issue at hand is this is the year that maybe I'm more worried for Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel, because this is the year that they have to put something on paper here. They got to really show where we're headed, that we're not going down this dark tunnel only to lead to a dead end, right? They need to do something, right? And you're already getting hit with these injury issues. Your offensive line doesn't look so great. When you and I and people here all touted, we know who the starters were. We thought everything would be fine with the starters, but it don't look good, right? Injuries or not, it doesn't look good. And then you have guys like Alexander Madison, who I argued was the 4th string running back, is showing up, right? You don't have Jalen Wright, the guy who you traded up for to get, showing up at all, right? That's concerning to me. You have Tanner Connor. Again, I repeat, Tanner Connor is leading the tight end group. Granted, Waller is on the pup list. Tanner Connor's leading. It's not Julian Hill. It's not Farrow or whatever his name is. It's Tanner Connor. And then one of the hold on. Let me just land here, and I'll let you go.
I just want to give you a little peace of mind before you land. A little peace of mind. Don't compare Tanner Connor and Julian Hill. They're 2 different positions, brother.
Are they both tight ends?
What do you mean?
One's a flex, and one's not. They're 2 different positions, brother.
I understand that you're trying to say Tanner Connor's more of a receiver, which I would say that may be true. However, if you saw Tanner Connor today, he's gained quite a bit of weight, right? His body, he's gotten some body
maybe
mass.
Setting up the block tight to be a blocker.
We'll see. We'll see what he does. He definitely has speed, but regardless, even if you're throwing to Julian Hill, he has a little bit of
Hey, Ali, was he intentionally dropping passes from backup quarterbacks to make another guy look good?
I have no idea. That I don't know, bro. But I'm just kind of concerned, And then in addition to it,
flashback from the Jets game. I'm just wondering.
I love the fact that I'm seeing guys that the undrafted guys step up. There's a receiver today that looked decent, Theo Weiss, however you say his name. I saw on Twitter he's starting to get some praise and stuff. That's great. I love that kind of stuff. But I need the guys that weren't undrafted, that guys that were drafted, to start stepping up and, making a name for themselves. You know what I mean? Take the next step. And I haven't seen that. I'm seeing the guys that weren't drafted make bigger steps, right? I blasted Cam Smith because Cam Smith deserves to be, released or waived off this team immediately because he let some undrafted free agent that no one's heard of blast past him, and he made no effort to go for the ball or anything, right? That to me is a fireable offense. So that's why I'm kind of worried. And I've said it here that I don't feel like we're going to win more than 9 games. In fact, I've said we're going to win less than 9 games. I'll double down on it. And I don't want to be right. I would rather be wrong. But
yeah,
that's where I'm at. That's why I'm kind of concerned. And that's why I'm raising the alarms and saying, hey, what's going on here? Everyone told me we were back and everything. What happened?
Well, I know you guys are going to eat me up for this take, for my take on that, right? So Cam Smith is the anomaly, but what's encouraging about you guys may hear it as a detriment. But what's encouraging for me is that I don't really know. I know their names because I'm a sycophant, right? But
yeah,
just for the for the sake of this conversation, I don't really know the young DB's names, and that can be looked at a good way or a bad way, right? Because none of them are truly really getting cooked in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Because the beat would be all over them.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying. And to be fair, Jack Jones and Mike Hilton just got here recently, so let them give them some time to gel in. And I get that. I get that.
Speaking of which, did y'all hear TD's take when we signed Mike Hilton? Oh my God, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy said that he's a bona fide guy. He has a great career. Now one side of the boundary is locked down, and that Mike Hilton's coming off a great career. I mean, a great year. It was a down year for everybody on Cincinnati's defense last year, including Mike. And he's never played on the boundary, TD, ever.
Well, that was just encouragement, Nick. That's just encouragement.
Mm.
Yeah, right.
Remember, it was guys like you pumping up another Cincinnati cornerback by the name of Apple, and how great he was going to be as a Dolphin.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that didn't work
Everybody
out.
but Colombo is going to be great as a Dolphin. Everybody that comes to the Dolphins is going to be great, except Colombo and that goddamn guy last year from Buffalo. Whatever the hell his name is. Fuck him.
Poyer.
Poyer.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, they was calling him the Ops.
Yeah, he came in and screwed everybody up, bro. That's what happened. Hey,
Sad part is
I'm
that
glad
guy's
we didn't-
actually a really good corner in our cornerback room is the real reality of it, Big Nick.
What's his name? Russell Sewell. They try to scout Sewell. Damn, I'm messing up his name.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you guys some positives. I know I just rang the alarm bells and everything, but here I will give you some chimes on some positives. I'm not worried about this linebacker core whatsoever. The linebacker room, you're done. You don't have to make any changes to it. You got Jordan Brooks. What he's about.
Yeah, we fine.
Will step up when he needs to, and I'll be damned. Willie Gay is all over the place, bro. That guy's making play after play, chasing receivers down the field that I've already ran past him for whatever reason. Making pick sixes and taking it to the house. All that stuff. Willie Gay is the man. So that's what I got to say about that.
Okay, now I'm really worried.
Now
I'm really worried.
Thank you so much for the $25 donation. Thank you so much. That's 3 books. Thank you so much, Costanza.
Yeah, that's my mom, bro. Big Nick. It should say from color and family in the message, but that's my mom, bro.
Oh, shout outs from the fam.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody. Thank you for donating towards the cause. We really appreciate it.
And thank you, Big Nick, for pronouncing her name correctly, bro. Like, that's cultured, man. That's the proper German pronunciation.
That being said, yeah. So, why are you worried about the linebacker room? They look really good.
Oh, I'm not. I'm worried about being soft.
Oh, you're worried about being soft.
Yeah, if Bones says I'm going soft, I'm actually concerned now.
God,
So
Joe is going to make
Bones,
the
is he going like,
Damn.
Oh man.
I want to know. I want to
Damn,
know.
Bones.
Bones, can you come up here and elaborate? Is he going soft served ice cream, or is he just going soft ice cream but not quite soft served? It's still kind of stiff.
As long as it's chocolate.
Anyway,
vanilla is boring.
Vanilla is boring, to be honest. Who will be the first to rock a Willie jersey? That is a good question.
Willie.
Yeah,
man,
he's
listen,
saying who's going to walk around
um,
with a jersey that says "gay" on the back.
By the way, have you seen
He's
Bones?
got to say Willie.
Hey, real quick, have you seen Bones' forehead? Anything soft compared to that big old forehead he has?
God damn, Bones! I wouldn't stand for that shit.
I got a question.
Damn.
I got a question. Since he has a big old forehead, as you stated, not me, he stated. My question is his forehead as big as Peyton Manning's muse at the Hall of Fame?
Bones, get up here and defend yourself,
Yeah,
Bones.
that's right.
Damn.
Peyton Manning does have a big skull.
What happened? I'm trying to
Shake
see
this
which
shit
color done
out,
went
man.
soft, man.
Shake called you out, bro. He said you have the
I'm just
biggest
saying
forehead
that
ever.
big old forehead. Anything is soft compared to that big forehead. he
Bones,
has.
what
Hey,
do I
man,
need?
don't worry about my forehead.
What do I need to do to
His
come
forehead
back?
is in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know, color. What you got going on, man? They say you going soft. What happened? I just stepped in.
Should I go stand in the heat? Should I go to the beach tomorrow and stand in the heat all day?
I don't know. You don't want to get in that sun. That sun is a motherfucker.
Well, that's precisely what I was trying to say. That's why they all think I'm soft.
Oh, no. That sun is a motherfucker. You can't take the heat. Stay out the kitchen now.
Yeah. What's good, Bones? Fuck you.
Cooler. I'm sitting back relaxing. You know, I just went to my grandma's funeral today. I'm just sitting outside.
Oh, damn, Bones.
Damn,
Sorry,
Bones.
brother.
Sorry.
It's
I'm
all right,
sorry.
man. She lived
Heart
a
to the
great
fam.
life. She's a great woman,
Good.
you know. She lived to
Good.
be 89. She did good.
God bless her.
That's funny. Prayers to you and your family, man. For sure.
Hell yeah.
Condolences,
Thank you.
man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Well, what
dog.
y'all talking about? Don't worry about
Talking
me.
about these Dolphins, Bones. We ain't got no O-line. Everybody gone.
No offensive line.
What's
man.
wrong with the old? I heard the old line was good.
I'll be back.
Nah,
We have
Bones,
no
done dropped
Eichenberg.
everybody.
We ain't got Eichenberg.
Yeah, we
Eichenberg
don't
ain't
got
there.
Eichenberg. It's sad.
That's all right. We got Patrick Paul.
Yeah, we got him.
Yeah, we still
All
got
right, he's
him.
doing good. I like
No,
him.
Mo Kamara's
Yeah.
gone, ain't he?
As long as we
No,
got
Mo
Patrick
Kamara-
Paul, we could build. We
Hold
doing
up.
good.
That's good.
But
good
nothing's
color.
going to be the same without Eichenberg. I'm a little disappointed.
Color. Repeat that again. Where's
I thought I
Mo
read
Kamara
something
been?
saying Mo Kamara was hurt or something.
Is he? Because I
Who's
haven't
Mo
seen him.
Kamara?
I haven't seen Mo Kamara at all, honestly. Now you say I know we've seen some Grayson Murphy, but not no Mo Kamara. But Austin Jackson just went down today. You're gonna miss a couple weeks, Bones.
That bitch always hurt.
That's true.
That's a fact.
So that's
I
true.
ain't-
Aaron Brewer still ain't playing. Our center.
We got somebody else. I heard he was doing good.
Nah, dog. We got some fucking old ass man in there.
Shit, old man, they do the job. He ain't got to be perfect. Just keep a bitch from getting the quarterback. He'll be all right.
I guess, but I mean they missing blocking assignments. Zach Sealer coming in untouched and shit.
Well, that's Zach Zealer now. Come on,
Bro,
now.
you're not gonna
Untouched.
Bro,
That's my
you're not
guy.
gonna, I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to interrupt, but you're not going to believe this, Ali.
What's
What?
up?
So I just looked it up. Mohamed Kamara injury, right? And the first response says, from Monrovia, Liberian international winger Mohamed Kamara is expected to miss at least 4 months of action after suffering a fractured fibula during a CFR Cluj 3-0 friendly victory over Hungarian club Paxi on July 17th.
What the
They're
hell is
talking about
that?
soccer. They're talking
What?
about soccer.
The
Oh, soccer.
25-year-old was
Soccer.
forced off the pitch just 18 minutes into the match. So is that cricket?
No, I don't know if that's cricket or
Winger
it's
sounds like soccer.
No,
but
it could be.
Yeah.
Boy, that would
Maybe
be
it's rugby.
cricket.
Mohamed Kamara's name is a very common name.
Sounds like it.
In soccer, it's big
That
like in
is-
MLS.
But I could have sworn it said Dolphins play, like it was a Dolphins headline when I saw it, dude. I could have sworn, man.
Yeah, I hear you. I get you. The fact that he had an injury, that's funny too.
I mean, that's not funny that Mo Kamara got injured.
No, I'm talking about that it happened to be an injury with that Mo Kamara, even though it's not ours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He couldn't have said anything. Oh, he had a great game and won 3-0. No, we were wondering if he had an injury.
Exactly.
Kamara had an injury, so that's
exactly. We're all in camp concerned about our players getting injured, and we see that. You know,
not to interrupt y'all, but I don't want to know what the regular season prediction is going to be. I want to know what y'all think the preseason prediction is going to be. What you think the record going to be?
Preseason predictions.
1-2.
You're going undefeated, dog.
1-2.
You always know you're going to have a bad season when you go undefeated in the preseason.
That's what I'm. Damn, Color. Shit, fuck you. Get out of my head.
That's how it used to be, bro. Remember when you went 1-3 or 0-4? That's what Dallas was doing back in the day. And the 49ers, they're losing all their preseason games and then winning the Super Bowl.
I'll say this, right? First of all,
that's what New England was doing. Remember, they was losing all their preseason games.
New England was losing 2 of their regular season games.
You know that tell me when they lose their preseason games, it shows me that they working on shit instead of trying to win.
Exactly. They're exactly, Bones. They're practicing for getting things right for down the road. They're not concerned with what
real game situations.
Winning and losing, yeah.
So I'll say this, right? I'm more worried about the O-line, and I'm not worried about the O-line, but if I was to put a worry, it would be on the O-line, simply because 2 years ago the defense was 10th, and then a year ago the defense was 4th.
Yeah, that's
and the only defense was 4th is because of the Baltimore 55 points and a bunch of hundreds of yards on it. So we were actually number 1 at some point in last year's season. I'm not worried about the defense because we're coming back with more pass rushes than so me and Color could be back there, number 1 corner, number 2 corner. The rush is going to take it to the quarterback, guys. Either they're going to get rid of the ball or they're going to. We didn't have this pass rush that we have now. I'm more worried about if Daniels is going to sustain a 4-yard running game. I'm more concerned about if Brewer is going to hold that block. So it's 3rd and 3. We be able to convert that first down, because I'm telling you right now, if we're relying on Tua to give you that 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4, it's either going to be the quick screen, which is not an adjustment for me, not at all. That's not an adjustment, McDaniel. Or Tua is going to end up getting hurt, because on 3rd and 10, they're going to know we can't run. I'm not concerned about a 19-year-old cornerback. I'm concerned about the O-line, because we were simply 10th ranked all in the NFL and 4th. Why would I be worried about a defense?
Hey, Sheree, I just want to say fuck you. I'm sorry, I ain't getting to say that in a while. Sorry if I ain't supposed to say that on the show. Well, what's up, man? Goddamn, nigga ain't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, man. I
ain't worried about the line. Don't be too concerned. We can run the ball. We got great running backs. Don't be concerned about Tua. He could throw the ball. He's a good quarterback. Still my trash, but he's a good quarterback.
I think what people got to do is give Greer a little bit to and to get Cater Kohu. So I think Greer is fine getting replacement cornerbacks. What I'm not concerned about is a Weaver who was 10th and 6th and 4th in the NFL in defense. I'm not concerned about a Weaver. Mm-hmm. I'm more concerned about, can you get a 3rd and 3? Don't do the quick hitch to Tyree. Can you get a 3rd and 3 running the ball with Daniels, Brewer, and Savinaya? That's my worry. Because if my worry is the young quarterback, why the hell ranked number 4 in defense? So I'm more worried about the fat guys. That's that's me.
They gotta perform on the field. We got some good play calling and stuff, bro. They just got to perform on the field. We watch plenty of film where they do good. You know what I'm saying? They just got to, like I say, they got to perform. You know what I'm saying?
One thing I do follow the press conferences, brother, and Weaver's first press conferences, he didn't lie about what he said he was gonna do. Look at Weaver, 67%. He blitzes on third down, and what he does is from the 40 to the 40, he would do the zone. He would do cover 3. He would do schemes after snaps. But within that 20-yard line, Weaver would press you, and he will send pressure on third down. That's a fact. And so he did. He did say what he was going to do in the when he was just hired at the Dolphin. What I'm encouraged with is now you got the big cornerbacks that fits his defense, right? You got the big safeties that fits his defense, right? And now I'm not worried about that because if you cannot run the freaking football, bro, you see what I'm saying? I'm not worried about this defense. I really am not. I don't care if they're 19 years old. I don't care.
I agree. I love the defense. I'm a defensive guy. I love everything. I like all the moves they made.
The film has shown me that after snap, no offense have been able to really figure out Weaver. Only Baltimore, really. Baltimore ran it up. We were ranked number 1. They ran it up and we dropped to number 4. So to me, like, why would I have a problem when you were nearly ranked first in the NFL? I'm more worried about the fat guys.
The what guys?
The fat guys.
I'm more worried about Daniel, Savinaya, and Austin Jackson. This is really upsetting me, color, that Austin Jackson is mixed up again. It's pissing me off. That's where my worry is.
Don't worry, Shuri. When the new man come out, you'll be able to figure out who got it.
Yeah, I definitely hear you guys. I'm kind of concerned about this running game when it comes to our offensive line ability to hold the line for them, as well as maybe the play calling too. A lot of the plays I've seen at camp were running it out, it's the outside. We're really not running, up the middle, maybe a play here or there. And even when we do, it's just not working. I am kind of concerned about that. So, I mean, that is something I'm thinking about. But we're also playing with an offensive line that doesn't have all of its starters there. You know what I mean? And especially on the right side. We have the left side taken care of, but our starting center, our starting right guard, and our starting left tackle isn't playing. So I got to take that into consideration and, kind of see where we end up. But the good news is the Dolphins don't seem like they're going to wait around. They worked out a slew of offensive linemen today. I expect us to probably bring somebody in. Or I kind of like what Cap said is 53-man roster time. We're going to leave 3 spots open, and we're going to go, shopping for somebody. That's a possibility also.
Well, one thing I want the guys to realize is that this is not Kamara and this is not Pan, Kamara, and Siler alone coming for you, right? Because we had I forgot the kid Murphy. He was down with an injury. Cameron Good was down with an injury. Jalen Phillips was down with an injury. Chubb was down with an injury. Now, if you're trying to, we were 32, 37 sacks. Someone please correct me. That's freaking putrid. Imagine with Jalen Phillips, Chubb, you got Kamara, you got Chop Robinson, you got the guys are going to get to the quarterback. It's the opportunity for the cornerbacks to catch the football and make the interception.
I got you.
I would love that problem. I love, but my problem is It's not my defense, bro. Because if I got Chop Robinson, Chubb, Jalen Phillips fighting for time to get to the QB, they're fresh. That's almost like the NASCAR Giants defense. So I'm not worried about them. The cornerbacks got the catches and the interceptions. What I'm more worried about is 3rd and 3, 1st down and 10. I remember in 2023 when we ran the football 4 straight times. It's because you ran with Mostert, 1st down. You ran with A-Chain, 1st down. You ran again, 1st down. We didn't do that shit last year. So that's my worry. My worry is not defense, bro.
I get you. That's why I'm kind of questioning like what our plan or identity is, even on the offense. I really don't know what their plan is. But with that being said, I want to take a quick break for a second. Everybody hit the like button. Somebody made a good point, right? It's kind of feeling like a ghost town around here without the music. We're going to turn it back up. Before we do so, I want everyone just take a quick break and check out this great commercial for an awesome site that we have. That's right, we vibing. So, I know we talked a lot of doom and gloom. My next question is there a way out of the doom and gloom? What would be some moves that you think that could fix us from the current conundrum? What do you guys think?
Well, I would say the supply could be where Tua goes down because that's the normal thing, but then you have a very talented guy who's really shown me the last 2 weeks, last 9 days of practice. He's not shaking. This guy's not Sky. And so if Zach Wilson were to go down, if Tua were to go down, I think like yours is one of these guys who just finds guys. I don't even think it's like, oh, I'm a third string. Look, if you're open, I think yours is one of those guys who just doesn't find me. And so I think the surprise, my surprise thing is the Dolphins still make the playoff with a talented quarterback at the 3 position.
Okay. I'm sorry, Sharif. I kind of understood what you said, but I think you might be in the blender a little bit. I heard you say that.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I believe he was trying to say that if like Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson were to come in, we could still vie for a playoff position. It was something to that effect. I think that's what he was saying. That's a good point. I mean, I could understand them coming in, but even with them,
I'll go out and come back, Ali. Okay, I'll go out and come.
Because you're still in the blender. My concern is even if you have them coming in, the offensive line is still not doing you favors, right? The running backs outside of Achane and we'll say Alexander Madison right now are really not doing you any favors. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I was talking about, with someone about Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, in my opinion, had probably one of the best throws today. He actually looked like he was really into it at a few points, and that's great. But the offensive line still didn't look good. The running backs, when it was his string, didn't look that great either. So I don't know. I don't know if waiting for one of those guys is really going to be the key. I'd really need us to make some solidifying moves. Like, I know we try to bargain shop a lot, but sometimes you just have to really pay it up and actually go get the guy that really is going to make the difference. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about the way that Miami is going about addressing certain needs or bringing in players. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Anybody? Man, this panel's a tough crowd, man.
I know, right? What the hell, man? Wake up, people. What was the question?
No, I'm sitting here talking about how, even if you have Quinn Ewers step up or even Zach Wilson have to come in for Tua, right? I honestly don't think it'll make a difference. If the offensive line isn't performing or, helping out their quarterback for the first guy, what makes you think that offensive line is going to help your quarterback for the second or the third guy?
Well,
right?
I have a feeling.
If the running back, I'm sorry, caller, I apologize for interrupting you. But even if the running backs are not doing favors for the first guy, what do you think is going to make the difference for the second guy? I honestly don't think it's going to make a difference. That's why, I understand we're trying to beat the scheme by bargain shopping for a lot of players, right?
Right.
We don't want to spend big dollars on offensive linemen. Okay, fine. I understand. But at some point, you just have to swallow it and actually sit there and invest to actually make the right purchase for once, right?
I think one thing is going to be is abundantly clear, Ali, is that we're either just going to be average or bad team, whatever the thing is. Like, we're either going to go nowhere because we're going to have we're going to have Tua at the helm and so many other injuries. Everybody's just going to throw away the season, or it's every bit as likely the other side of the coin is our season plays out and ends completely different than anybody in this world could have ever thought.
That's my thought, color. And I was about to ask you, and let me ask you, and
like with who's at the helm, with what players are coming through and being good, and what the makeup of our team by the end of it all. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna have such a different opinion on this team by the end of it all, or it's just gonna go like clockwork, and we're gonna have a mediocre to bad season with Tua at the helm most of the year.
Color, let me ask you and Ali in the panel this question, because I've seen McDaniel now for 3 years. So I have some data to say that the 700 throws, right? Like me and Crypto could make jokes about 7-year plan, but the 700 throws. Now, stop right there. If he looks at 400 to 500 throws from Zach Wilson, right? And let's just skip right over Zach Wilson. Let's just say he looked at 300 throws from Ewers in college. My thing is, if he's able to just do that one thing, which is develop a quarterback, man.
Well, that's the thing, Sharif,
I'm good
for everybody on the team.
Color,
I think, real quick, the quickest way to say what I just said is that where it's evident, it's abundantly clear that we are starting to rely heavily going forward on development and coaching, because it's not. I mean, what else do we have to do with the roster? There's nothing else to do.
He does 700 throws and he's successful with Tua. So I want to see the 300 throws what he can do with Zach. I want to see the 300 throws that he can do with Ewers. Just use those 300 and be successful with Ewers. You get what I'm saying? If he's successful at that, then he's doing that right.
Assumes that for some reason everybody assumes that everybody we draft and everybody that we bring in free agency is a camp body and not meant to be taken seriously. I don't think that's how our coaching staff sees things. Our coaching staff believes, hey, if we can get these guys to do these things, we can win. And so that's what I mean. We're either going to be what we've been, and we can all see what that's heading to, or things are going to transpire like we could have never imagined, and we've got a completely different outlook on the team by the end of this season, whether that's good, positive, or negative.
Do you mean to tell me that the fan base is afraid to look at the fact that
we're all talking about injuries, and we're already counting our chickens with the injuries we got, and we have a lot already based on potential with this roster. Okay, when I talk about our running room, I like our running back room. I'm talking about the potential of it. None of it's come through. So it just seems to me that the coaching staff is just saying, hey, we put together a roster. We drafted guys and we brought in guys in free agency we feel that can back up, that can step in if the injury bug hits. In other words, we're built just the same as everybody else is in the league. So, injuries aside, somebody's got to step up and do their job and do what we expect them to do. So
and I think that's what I'm trying.
A whole bunch of players that we didn't know what they were going to be yet come through and be all right players, and then we've got a whole different outlook of our team going into the offseason.
And Color, don't be afraid to say it. It may be where Tua is looked at on the back end of being hurt, while a guy like yours is taking us through week 17 into the first round. Don't be afraid.
Talk about the quarterback if you want, but I suffice to say, it's just that we don't know. Look, we could be wrong about everybody, and they could just shut it down. But what's the point if you're never going to build and develop, and you're shutting down every time one or two of your top players get injured? Then you're never going to get anywhere.
Right.
Injuries
I don't
happen.
think McDaniel has.
So I don't
he has
buy
the
this idea that everybody we draft and bring in free agency is just meant to be a stand-in if Tua gets hurt. I mean, I don't believe that.
I don't think it is. I think it's McDaniel being tired of Tua.
About the talent they chose. Hold on. They could be wrong about the talent they chose, and those people could not be able to be developed. I get it. But we have to allow them a certain amount of trust in development.
I could look in Ewer's eyes, Color, and I could see he's pumping at the bit. Do you know what that means? I think Tua loses his freaking job simply because Ewers could run. Listen, man, I just think
the time is no more. Oh, the quarterback is injured or Jalen Waddle's injured, so we have no wide receivers. No, I don't buy that nonsense anymore.
I think a guy like Zach Wilson and Ewers, I think they know what's in front of them. They know they have a guy. They got to help out the Miami Dolphins, but they know they have a guy in front of them. If he just lands wrong on the ground, normal tackle, he's done. Ewers and Wilson knows that, guys. Everybody in the comments and on the panel, these two guys know that. So Tua has a job to do. But meanwhile, McDaniel is saying, I got capable Wilson and I got a capable Ewers who can make most throws.
Right.
I know exactly.
Hey, Game Boy, hold on real quick, Sharif. I just want to address what Game Boy is saying real quick, because I get what you're saying, that they're a starter for a reason. Okay, that's a fair point, Game Boy. But now you got to be fair. And have you ever considered that they might be that the reason they're a starter is not because necessarily they're the only ones that can do it or that they're better than the other guy, but maybe they're a starter because there's only one spot? There's nothing wrong with having two guys that are of starter quality.
I look at it like this.
So I get what you're saying, that, oh, they're a starter for a reason, but you're implying that the reason can only be that they're better than the other guy.
Well, you're better till you
When there
twist your
is a
fingers.
valid reason, there is a valid reason to say that it's because there's only one spot to pencil a guy's name into.
You're better till you twist your fingers.
Maybe that guy won a coin toss between the two players.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying, but
two doesn't have to be because he's better. If you're drafting properly and you're coaching and developing properly, you've got 2 starters at every position.
But
That's
you're
how
not
you
better
win
because you're not
in this
lasting
league.
a whole season. You're not better because you're not lasting a whole season. And to me,
I could argue that
McDaniel,
Thurman Thomas was only better than Kenneth Davis because Thurman Thomas got all the touches.
Yeah.
But every time Thurman Thomas was out, they still gashed us for 8 yards. That was even back in the 90s. So my point is, if you guys are serious about winning a Super Bowl as fans, then you need to understand that we have to have starters, 2 starters at almost every position. That's the way it's
simply
done.
because it will be the 4th time that his hands have twisted if he hit his head. And we can't afford that. We need multiple starters, like Color's saying. McDaniel is off for 2 in that aspect.
You could say that they were wrong about who they drafted and who they brought in free agency as to whether those people could be one of those guys. You could say that they were wrong in their evaluation of the man, of the player. But make no mistake, it's not just one reason why a guy is a starter over another. It could be just because there's only one spot to pencil a name into.
And it really is just a matter of time until you twist your fingers the 4th time. Because, like, a normal tackle
bro, I lived this firsthand, bro, because as a wide receiver that was as good as any number 1 on my team in high school, I didn't start, but guess what? I played every single second play of the game because our system ran the plays in through the wide receiver. So effectively, I was a starter. I was one of the 2 starters. Did I play the first play of the game? No. But guess what? Guess who ran in the second play to the huddle? You see what I'm saying? It's not about like, oh, this guy's it's always because they're better than the other guy. That's not always the case. If you're a really good football team, then you've got 2 starters at every position. Save for kicker and punter. And even then, your kicker and punter can usually do both.
Well, I remember when we had I forgot the gentleman that we let go to New England. Wes Welker. Wes Welker kicked 2 field goals for us, guys. I don't know if you guys remember. Wes Welker kicked a field goal for us.
Yeah. Well, I want to be fair. I want to be fair to Game Boy too, because more often than not, because of the fact that there is a limited amount of great talent in the world, hence the reason there's only 1,600 something players. You know, generally speaking, you can bet that a person is starting over another because they're better. So I'm not trying to be unfair to Game Boy. I'm just saying that it is a misconception that it's always because they're better.
Who would be your surprise cut for the first cut down to 70? Color or anyone?
I'm not sure. The other thing you got to consider is, do we even know, based on the fact that we just brought some of these guys in, do we even know if they're better than the starter?
I think my surprise cut is already Julian Hill. I've been watching camp colors. Week is day 9.
With the veteran free agents, you can kind of know, but with the rookies, you can't know. Yeah. This Salvador guy, he could be a Hall of Famer for all we know.
to me, Julian Hill and another guy's been underperforming. Austin Jackson got to step it up, man. I mean, I'm talking about when he's healthy. He got to step it the hell up, bro. The left side is fine.
To be fair about Austin Jackson, Sharif, I honestly don't think they're gonna do anything regarding cutting Austin Jackson, because that's a position that we're lacking at, to the point we can't afford to cut him, if you understand what I mean by that.
A surprise cut for me is Julian Hill.
A surprise cut for me, I would say, and I hate to say this, Westbrook Achine would be a surprise cut for me, and I'll tell you why.
He has
even with the latest Eskridge injury.
Maybe not so much with the Eskridge injury, but prior to Eskridge injury, I want to say Eskridge's name got called more than his did. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, I'm really, I understand.
He also has seniority in the building. You know what I mean?
Who has seniority?
Eskridge in the building.
Oh, I see what you mean by that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But this is the reality, right? This is training camp. This is not a time for you to sit there and pussy fart, hang out with friends, and think you're part of the cool kids club and just hang out, right? No, this is the time for you to put the work in, take your shot and take it to the roof, because you only get one shot in each training camp. And right now, guys like Cam Smith, I'll tell you what, guys like Cam Smith, right? I'm at the Greyhound station paying for a coach ride for them, if they even could deserve that, to be honest, out of town, because that guy's been absolute trash entire training camp, right? That's really not a surprise. Number two, you got guys like Westbrook Achine, who we have high hopes that he could be the number 3, and you have guys like Tanner Connor, D. Eskridge, and Theo Weiss, I think is how you say his name. Those guys are stepping up. Those guys have had their names called more than Westbrook Achine.
Well, the Tanner Connor thing, I can actually give you valid, like, that actually impresses me that he's gotten better, because you know how I feel about him. You know what I mean? And if he's out there catching the ball and
you were really critical of him,
being a citizen, then that's a real change that you're reporting to me. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, he was running with the ones, and Tua threw it to him like 3 or 4 times. Not to mention the one time that I think it was Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers or somebody threw it to him, and he caught a big bomb too. So my point
I like about the potential of him improving himself over the last couple seasons quietly is that the guy is a big, goofy, long stride runner. He eats up yardage like Gronkowski did. You know what I mean? Like when he gets the ball, one guy misses and it's like an extra 10 yards, just a couple strides. You know what I mean? That's what I do like about Tanner Connor. He just has to have the ball in his hands to be able to do that.
And guys, the backup fullback for the last 2 years was Tanner Connor. So he can actually go play. He can go play the F. He can play fullback in the I formation. He can back up Engel. So
I don't care how goofy he looks running, man.
Wait. Hold up real quick. Thank you for bringing up Alec Ingold, Sharif. Alec Ingold, is it me? Or we haven't heard hardly anything about Alec Ingold? Is it because he really doesn't have competition? We're not bringing in any other fullbacks, so he has nothing to worry about? Is that kind of
you just hit it on? You just spoke about it. The cool kids club, bro. That's what he is, man. And that might be, maybe I'll make that my surprise cut.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'd hate for him to be that guy though, because to be honest, I thought more of him. To be honest.
Well, that's because he's a fan favorite, and so he walks around like he's a fan favorite, and really hasn't produced anything, dude.
Well, I'll say this, right? It's McDaniel's scheme, it's Shanahan's scheme, it's George Seifert scheme, right? And you need to win at the guards in this offense, because if you don't, then the center doesn't get to the second level. Alec Engel doesn't kick out and take on the middle linebacker, and nobody goes nowhere. That hasn't happened last year. You know what happened in 2023? Alec Engel looked like an MVP trucking linebackers because he didn't have to take on who the guard missed out on.
I'm glad.
Because you had
I'm glad
Robert.
this half Eminem guy, whoever he is M.
What's
I'm
up,
glad
Ian?
he's
You know.
around because I'd like to, you know, right around when we're bringing up the Alec Ingold thing, because I know this M guy is a real knowledgeable guy and you know, doesn't like look, he doesn't accept no nonsense. He doesn't accept fan favorite nonsense, right? So I was wondering M's opinion on if we didn't have Alec Ingold on our roster on any given Sunday, would we really lose sleep? Has anybody ever really lost sleep because Alec Ingold ain't playing?
That's actually a good question.
Because yes, you would lose sleep because the first guy who's gonna get to the running back to bring him to the ground normally is the Mike or the weak
Has
side.
anybody said though, Sharif? Oh, we can't win this game 30-20 without Alec Ingold.
But you cannot
Has anybody ever said that?
Run.
Like we can't win this week because Ingold is injured. We got to do something about Alec Ingold.
You got to get him to. You got to spring him open.
Absolutely, Ian. This is a late night exhale, man. Get up here and let it all out.
If you spring a guy like him open, he gets to the middle. Someone else hits the edge, and he gets to the second level. Ingle is trucking guy. This is what you saw in 2023. If this doesn't happen, you're not running the football.
But who isn't trucking guys in the secondary, bro? Like secondaries are small these days, man.
Ingle was nearly the MVP in 2023 simply because
but again, Sharif, okay, again, given what Ali's reported about, okay, Sharif, I got a question for you. Given what Ali's reported, but given what Ali's reported about Tanner Connor, who cares? Tanner Connor can have the ball in his hands in the secondary and be trucking all over those guys. I can't imagine anybody losing sleep if Alec Ingold was no longer on our roster. I know I won't.
You would lose sleep because you would lose yards, basically.
I wouldn't even, dude. I never even cared about him coming here in the first place. Like I didn't look at San Francisco or whoever he played for and go, "Oh damn,
Raiders."
Boy, he makes that team.
Yeah.
You know, people act like he's Tom Rathman or something, or Mike Allstott. No, he's not. Not even close.
He's not. He's like an evolved Lusaka Polite. That guys in the comments, Alec Ingle maybe not catching the ball like Rob Conrad, but he's like an evolved Lusaka Polite. He trucks guys who try to get to H-ing. His job is to truck
every
guys.
Short little bowling ball trucks guys, bro. They're a dime a dozen.
Okay, well, I'm letting you know what's important. If you don't care about it, Color, then that's on you. I just let you know what is important.
I'm not saying I don't care about the ability to do that. I'm saying that Alec Ingold don't make or break us in that arena.
Well, I'm sorry to say he does. You would
I'm
lose
saying we
yards
got plenty of other guys that can truck people too and replace that production.
What time is the backup?
Well, ask yourself, Sharif. It's about replacing the production that you're talking about. If he was out, would we miss the production? Or would we have somebody else do it?
I think
before it was Durham Smythe.
Mm-hmm. I think Tanner Connor will have to immediately go to the F. And then you still would have Conyers. You'd have Conyers.
Okay, well, how about this? There's one spot left on the roster. Tanner Connor or Alec Ingold. Make the choice. One or the other.
I already know what
he's one of them. Well, if one is hurt, right,
potential, age, everything.
No, man. Even if Angle is 30, I'm keeping it. Because his job is to block.
All right. Well, fair enough. I mean, you know what? At least you answered the diametric question. You didn't try to spin it. You did answer the yes or no question, basically.
Listen,
I would
guys.
take Tanner Connor. I would cut Alec Ingold and keep Tanner Connor.
If you watch the replays of Ingold play, you'd wonder if his nose is bloody and snotty every game. He takes them. They don't call the penalties for the head-to-head with Ingold, but he's blocking for us. But he does it head-to-head contact.
Future,
They don't throw the
I'm all
flag
about
on
the
that shit.
future, and that makes me favor Tanner Connor, man.
Color. I'm just saying, like a lot of lead blocks by fullbacks is head-to-head with the linebacker, but the ref don't throw that shit. But I'm telling you, who's winning that battle? Alec Ingold.
You know who we ought to have as a lead blocker? Isn't that like a William Perry type guy? Zach Sealer. We need to get Zach Sealer on the other side of the ball. Like refrigerator Perry style. You know what I mean?
Does anyone want Christian Wilkins to come back and do a celebration dance? Do the spin and everything, Color. Do the spin and the Michael Jackson and everything.
Hey, and I tell you this much, Sharif. I have a feeling based on what Ali's saying. I mean, Tua's been throwing the ball to Tanner. You know what I mean? Tanner's usually relegated to the backup quarterbacks in camp. Tua been throwing the ball to him. I would like to know Tua's opinion on, hey, Tua, we got one spot left. It's Ingold or Connor. I bet you Tua chooses Tanner Connor.
Mm-hmm.
So I know
So
I
you
got
know what I
two
noticed?
years on my side now.
I noticed that Tanner Connor would get hurt right about now. Every
Well,
preseason.
guess what? He's one of the only ones that hasn't.
He gets hurt right about now, Color. I mean,
Everybody else
really
is getting hurt right
he gets
about
the
now.
3 more. He gets hurt right about now, and then
Hey,
oh,
what's
he's
up,
explosive.
Shekel? I ain't seen Shekel in a long time. I got to say hi to Shekel real quick. What's up, Shekel?
What's up, man? Look, I understand both of your guys' arguments. So let me ask this to you, Sharif. What is Alec Ingold's superpower?
I think his superpower is being able to read the guard in the center, move to the next level, and kick out on the strong linebacker or the weak linebacker.
And he's
And you
also
don't
got a
think-
good low center of gravity, and his power, his superpower is his power.
So what you're asking, I mean, let me ask you this. You don't think none of that is replaceable? I'll take that as a no since I'm getting no response.
Well, he might have thought the question was for me. Go ahead. That was for you, Sharif. Oh, we lost him. The Bahamas.
All right.
got him.
Well,
He had a bit. Hey, I think we got to check the Bahamas, make sure they didn't get hit by a tsunami or something.
Oh shit! I hope not.
You know, they are our shield, Ali. Like if a big rock fell off into the Atlantic somewhere off Africa, like the Bahamas would be a big shield for us, dude.
Oh, I get it. Look, for me, it's this. Alec Ingold, I think most of his contributing is mostly on the line, helping with the blocking. You know, maybe a short yardage, 1 yard here or there. But I kind of feel like, in my opinion, Color, you could get somebody for that position that could fill in adequately.
I agree, bro.
You know, if you ever needed it.
Because the other thing, if you put aside the trench stuff and the backfield stuff that Alec Ingold does and does well, I'm not trying to throw shade on Alec Ingold. Matter of fact, you just heard me helping Sharif to steel man him. You know what I mean? I can see the attributes of one Alec Ingold, sure. But then you look at what he can do in the secondary and you say, okay, is there anybody else that I can picture running free with the ball, trucking over guys besides Alec Ingold? Yes, you have mentioned him all night, Tanner Connor, who not only can provide that role, but arguably does it. I mean, I'm not saying he is, but optically it looks a lot like a Gronkowski type runner, where he's just goofy as all, like big old long strides and knocking guys over. You know what I mean? I'm not saying will be Gronkowski. I'm just saying that that's his style, and we need that. That eats up yardage. That keeps drives going. You know what I mean? That's why the Patriots were so successful for so long. People take so much credit away from Gronkowski and what he provided to Brady. Like, think about in your mind, remembering all the Patriots games you watched over those 22 years. How many times you seen Gronkowski in the secondary trucking over guys for 10, 15 extra yards just because he's such a goofy runner that just 3 strides eats up 10 yards. You know what I mean? Just get the ball in his hand in open field. Same with Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
That's why these guys are that good. Shannon Sharp, all these guys. You get them the ball and they're just like falling forward for 20 yards. Alec Ingold, yeah. But I'm just saying, that's the part you can replace right there with a guy like Tanner Conner. The stuff in the backfield. Well, we already know that Durham Smythe was sufficient enough to replace that. I don't know if Tanner Conner is. I haven't been watching closely enough. I'd default to you and ask you, Ali, where Tanner Conner is at in the ability to do those types of things. In other words, making Alec Ingold expendable. You know.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Maybe Sharif's right about what Alec Ingold provides in the backfield. But I still can't imagine that function can't be replaced by a guy like Ollie Gordon or Jalen Wright. Right on, Jamaican. By the way, shout out to Jamaican from Zion. Another tsunami shield for Florida. sorry, JFC, but you all are getting it first if it comes from that direction.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's up, Ace? I thought that was you.
Yeah, what's going on? Lee, Shade, Tonic, Color. I've been seeing the report regards the Dolphins camp. Just trying to figure out how's our secondary doing. Is that still a major concern? Is the offensive line still something that needs to be worked upon, or I think we're heading towards the right direction?
Well, there's a lot of questions there. I can kind of run you through it. The secondary it's not atrocious, but it's not good. It's basically mediocre. If anything, they haven't done anything that, they haven't let players truly beat them, but they haven't. They've also, really not. I don't know how to how do I say it, Color? Do you know a better way of saying it? In my opinion, they're okay, but it depends on who they're going up against. You know what I mean? Waddle's still gonna get his, obviously. Tyreek surprisingly has not been open that much from certain plays that I've seen. I would say I'm kind of a little bit worried, a little bit. But bringing Jack Jones and Mike Hilton, I think overall is going to help. So we just have to give time to let that gel. Offensive line, the left side of the ball is great. The interior and the right side is the issue. We're playing with a backup center, backup right guard, backup right tackle. Yeah, it doesn't look good so far.
Wait. What do you mean? We have a backup center and
So Andrew Brewer hasn't been playing, so we're using the backup center right now.
Okay.
The right guard, James Daniels, is not fully ready yet, so we're using a backup guard, which is Keon Smith, I believe. And then last but not least, we've Austin Jackson's going to be out for some time now, so we're playing with a backup right tackle.
So wait. So Austin Jackson got hurt.
Yep. He has a lower leg issue. And they're saying that he's going to be missing some time. Today, the Dolphins brought in 5 or 6 offensive linemen for workouts.
Oh my god, bro! When it rains, it pours us.
Yeah, and then on top of it, to make matters worse, everybody was up in arms because Jalen Phillips had a knee injury today.
Yeah.
And luckily, that's not too bad. He came out and said he's okay. He's gonna be all right. So whatever.
Yeah, it was a bruise. It said.
It's still the fact that he's had like back-to-back seasons with injuries. Everybody's like sitting there like all upset. You know what I mean? So I get what's going on with that. Let's see who else got hurt. Bigger's new defensive tackle got his eye poked in really bad. The point where the guy like went to the ground instantly and was slamming his fist on the ground. He was in pain.
Yeah, he got poked in the eye. Biggers.
Yeah, he really did.
Bigly.
What else I could tell you? There was somebody else that went down that got carted off the field, and I didn't even see it.
His name is Biggers, and he's bigly good.
He's definitely big. He's actually one of the bigger defensive tackles we have.
So, I don't know, man. Like, I think right now we're like all the off-season conversations that was going on in regards to the Miami Dolphins today. If certain position players could stay healthy or the depth could stay healthy. And right now we're only like week 1 of training camp, and we have all these injuries happening.
Yeah, but that's the good part is it's only week 1 of training camp.
Yeah, but Color, I think these players are missing time. Yeah, they get injured. It's earlier on, but yet when they come back, they have to like certain follow up and catch up towards the speed of the team, and just like that's not the recipe for success. I don't know where it is, man.
Look, I hate to be the doom and gloom guy because I really want to be positive about this. But my only issue, Color, is the fact that everybody knows like this is like a do or die for Miami season, right? And for a lot of people on this team, and even for the coaching staff and Chris Greer and everything.
If it is, then we took steps to bring in the right guys to be okay with this.
Yeah, that's a good point too, I guess. I guess that's a word. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's my point. Yeah. So it's either going to be, mediocre to bad like we're expecting, or it's going to be we are something totally different than anybody expected transpires throughout the year.
I really feel it's like
whether that be guys that are being developed, stepping up, or, things becoming more clear with guys that don't step up, and whatever it may be.
I think a lot of players on this current roster heading into this season, knowing that you have capable players that are very skillful. I'm not telling you they're
quick,
perfect.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Ace, but there's a saying in the trading world. It's called YOLO. Like when you want to like just throw caution to the wind, it's called YOLOing your account. And YOLO is spelled YOLO, and it stands for you only live once. Based on things that have transpired since we started this build, since Chris Greer started building this team and all that with Flores and bringing in McDaniel and the whole Tua thing and all of it, everything that's transpired has culminated to a point where when you say everybody agrees that Miami is kind of in that mode where it's now or never. Well, yeah, but given what's transpired, that doesn't change what you have to work with. It may be unfair, but what I think we're seeing here is a YOLO season. If people get injured, hopefully people step up. And hopefully we pick the right guys with the right mentality to be coachable and developed and do that.
And
we have no
that's
choice. Like they didn't. I'm pretty sure Chris Greer and everybody involved when we started this build didn't expect all the stuff to transpire that did to put us in the position we're at right now. So we're still, as fans and media and everybody, the expectation is still really high. They haven't been able to lower it. And so now they're in YOLO mode. Hoping and praying.
But that's right there, color. That's how a potential contender could take the next step when players
maybe
and you got that depth. If
that's
you
what
have
I'm
that,
trying to say, Ace, is that maybe we find out something totally different than anybody expected about our team right now by the end of it all.
like I don't really have like right now. When it comes to the Miami Dolphins, I'm very neutral because I've been with those type of fans. I was like, oh my god, okay, we got Tyreek Hill, we got Waddle, we got Tua, but it's just the
I just wouldn't necessarily be ordering up a hotel reservation for where Super Bowl City this year.
New Orleans this year, I guess. I think it's in New
I
Orleans.
wouldn't be getting a hotel in New Orleans just yet.
I just feel like if this team is able to build that depth, those B players, those C players, potentially even the D players, and they are able to make a certain what's the word I'm looking for? Like potential game changer or just filling in your role, things like that. I think that could propel the team. But
You're
yet
talking
again,
about becoming a complete team.
bingo. Yes, sir. Yep. And I think we're that's something that we have to see.
And that's what I meant earlier to Game Boy about having two starters at almost every position. That's a complete team.
Yeah.
And you have to have the right psychological makeup too, because that number two guy has to be convinced that the coaches believe that he's as good as the starter. That's the tricky part. Because even if a guy is as good as the starter, if you don't make him the starter, that could make him not as good as the starter psychologically.
Yeah. Like you.
That's why they do all these psychological evaluations before they get players and all that.
But yet again, we have all these knickknacks injuries. I really don't know what's why this happens. Like, it's just
because it's football.
Yeah, but color. One thing is football, but one thing.
I mean, go and just pretend you're another fan of another team for a week. Just pretend. And go do all the stuff and look at all the news clippings that you would for the Miami Dolphins for that team. And tell me you're not seeing the same thing. Then I will be concerned. Just pick one.
Yeah.
Just pick one out of a hat. The New York Giants. So go pretend to be a Giants fan for a week. Do all the stuff you would do as a Dolphin fan, but for Giants content.
It just like when it comes to the Dolphins, it's just this is the
I
year.
could be wrong. You could look at 31 other teams for a week and find out that I'm wrong. Everybody else is completely healthy. I don't know.
And to your point,
don't
too,
believe it.
And Color, to your point too, is like you could look at the 5 bottom worst teams, right? And you look at their social media, their fans, and I guarantee you, by the end of the month, you'll be like, "Damn, I think they have a shot this year."
Right. Right. Or you would think, damn, the NFL's gotten that bad? Damn. You know? Like, we might as well watch UFL.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that this team is missing something. And then it could potentially
Time is what it's missing, Ace. Time. That's what we're talking about here. We need time to cook. Simmer. Whatever you want to call it. You know, catalyze.
like all the off-season distractions.
Aggregate.
All the off-season distractions. Whatever is going on with Tua, Tyreek Hill, or what's going on with Tyreek Hill. Let's play
the
football.
Grocery store analogy, Ace. You know, Greer, he brought home the groceries. You know, we're starting to chop the vegetables. We got all the stuff in the pot. We're about to turn the stove on. Let's see what happens.
I think my personal opinion, I think this team, it could be potentially very good, but no major injuries. I know major injuries is a part of the NFL, but like not one star player after another on your current roster. I
Right,
think
but are they
that's
really stars? That's what my point is. Like, look, I actually understand what McDaniel tries to say, even though we kind of joke around about it when he says that you know, adversity is opportunity, because I kind of like what's going on right now. I kind of like the fact that we're uncomfortable. That's exactly how you make diamonds, with pressure.
Yeah.
But as G always likes to point out, you also make diarrhea with pressure.
Yeah.
Shout out to G. Thank you for the recommendation, G, with the body armor. I had the strawberry banana yesterday, but I was curious about the grape and the one with the gold letters. I was very curious.
I thought you were thanking G for the recommendation of diarrhea. I'm like, what?
All right. Well, Ace, consider this. How would you ever know and know what you got and test what you got without these injuries? See, I believe without any injuries, if we were all injury-free going throughout camp and everything else, I would predict a mediocre to bad season, because that's what we've been. So I don't want to say I welcome the injuries, because I don't wish injuries on the players. That's not what I mean. I welcome the shakeup. You know, to invoke our great friend Shake Money here. You know what I mean? I like, you got to shake the damn. You know, what do? Shake, you throw all the different liquors in, and you know what I mean? What do they say? Shaking and stirred,
Yeah,
you know, not stirred. You know what I mean?
Blend it in there.
Yeah. You know, just let it all. Entropy takes forever if you just let all that stuff, you know. Damn.
Well, that being said, I do have a question to stir the pot a little bit more, Color. Recently in talks we had in Spaces and here on YouTube and Dolphins Twitter, there's been a lot of conversation in regards to Tyreek Hill and how he quit on the team early, you know, after that last game of the season. And we have our quarterback now holding him accountable. Well, quitting on a team seems to be a going thing this year. Recently, I watched a video and a posting about the new quarterback in Chicago, Caleb Williams, right? Getting rage quitting after, doing some net drills that he was failing at, right?
Didn't he rage quit in the season last year too?
I don't remember. That's
well, he didn't rage quit, but his team kind of accepted him being like half carried off the field because he was the only one with any heart in the whole game. You know what I mean? Like he finally gave up. It's like, fuck y'all, you know?
I see what you mean. Yeah, I was just curious, like, how do you guys feel about that quarterback rage quitting after having some bad drills? Is it a good look, bad look? How do you guys feel about that? Oh, before we get into it, Mr. EM, how you doing, sir?
What's up, EM?
Hey, gentlemen.
What's going on, man?
Gentlemen, what's good, fellas?
Not
What
much.
is
Did I
going on, Ian?
stir the pot a little too much with Alec Ingold, or do you agree? We'll get to that in a second, but I do want to answer Ali's question real quick about rage quitting. Like, it depends on his state of mind. Like, if I were to have a talk with him and find out what his side of it, candidly, like, let's say if he was drunk at a bar, you may find out that actually is just how he operates. Like, kind of how when you rage quit a video game and then pick it up a week later and all of a sudden you can beat that level that you were having a problem with just because you had to force yourself to step away. And some people are so competitive and all that part of it's like locking yourself out of trading. You know what I mean? Like, some people got to force themselves to step away a second, and the only way to do that is quote unquote violently. You know what I mean?
I trust me. I completely understand that.
I figured you would, and that's the perspective I would say. I would love to have a talk with him and find out if that's all we're looking at here. You know what I mean?
I really believe in the saying that passion is not a crime, right? So it's okay to be passionate about your craft, maybe your work skill, your skill set, and everything like that. And you want
was he punishing himself by rage quitting?
That's a good question.
Like, fuck you sorry motherfucker. You don't deserve to practice today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think it's when you do it under the limelight of all the cameras and the people watching camp, it's not necessarily the best of look.
Well, I can't argue with that. That's why we're talking about it. You know what I mean? You're right. I just personally, like, me, I always look at the humanity involved. And
so, EM, let me ask you the elephant in the room, right? And this was brought up earlier, and that's when you were asking if you could come up.
What's good, Ali?
If Alec Ingold was not on this team, or is not on this team, are you going to lose sleep over it?
That is a very good question, to be honest with you, Color, Ali. Man, that's a tough one. I don't know about losing sleep. However, I will say I think Alec Ingold. I personally think Alec Ingold is starting to slow down a little bit. In my opinion,
okay.
I don't think he's nowhere near as impactful as he was his first 2 years in Miami.
I was just gonna say, define slowdown. You don't mean raw speed. You just mean like his impact is starting to slow down.
Yeah,
less effective.
Yeah, I don't see the same level of impact, and maybe maybe it's because the O-line was so inept last year, and it prevented him from consistently getting to the second level, and is
it also possible that maybe even if he's not slowing down, that his impact can just be replaced and is disposable?
I think he can be replaced. My only thing is I don't think he's irreplaceable, but I just wonder who the Dolphins have currently on the roster that can step in and fill that role. You mentioned Tanner Connor.
Ali's been reporting about Tanner Connor's improvement in catching the football. I like him at least in the secondary with the football in his hands. I don't know about the running game stuff, you know what I mean, as much with Tanner Connor.
Yeah, I just have a question mark who could come in and fill that the run game aspect of his game. But
Ollie Gordon,
I just don't,
normally, I know that's an unknown, but I like the potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just, I'm intrigued though with Tanner Connor as a whole. Though I've been intrigued by him for a while. I think Color, you and I have had.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but if Tanner Connor is giving you it's not like he couldn't do it before. One of the things I've always liked about him is his style of running, very similar to guys like Gronkowski. Not to shoot too high, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so the only problem I had was you can't do all that without the football in your hands when if you're dropping the football. You know what I mean? Given an improvement there, I mean, you've got a lot of options when it comes to replacing the other stuff that Alec Ingold provides for you. And I just don't know if it's not something that's like, hey, what are we really worried about if we turned up if there's one spot left and it's Tanner Connor or Alec Ingold, I mean, I don't know, bro.
Well, Color, they have used Tanner Connor in that role in the past. He's played fullback for us.
Same with Durham Smythe. We proved we can replace that impact with Durham Smythe at the very least.
Yeah, now I don't know. Now, as a starter in that role and consistently, can Tanner Connor give us the same level of
tight
production?
ends to consider in that role too. We're not just talking about Tanner Connor. We got a room full of tight ends that could sufficiently do something there, along with the bigger guys in our running back room.
I do want to talk about. I do want to talk about Tanner Connor real quick though. Number one, at EM, I'll give you credit where credit is due. You were definitely right. I can kind of see why the team likes Tanner Connor. Prior to the
I fucking love him with the football in his hands in the secondary, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm impressed with that.
Prior to training camp, a lot of people were saying there's no way this guy's gonna make the roster, blah 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 blah. Well, let me tell you a few things. Number one, I will argue that he looks even quicker in camp than he has before. I think he's gotten faster.
Really? And Ollie, you're saying you've had eyes on him this training camp?
Yes, I actually
and
really watched him.
He doesn't even need to be fast to eat up a lot of yardage. That's my point.
Let me tell you some things. Number one, he caught an awesome pass from Quinn Ewers today, so that was awesome watching. And then in turn on top of it, he got a bunch of reps with the number ones, and Tua went to him like 3 or 4 times in a row, right? And I was like, and he was catching the ball like every time, and I was like, okay, I could see how they can use Tanner Connor very easily. In fact, I'll argue that Tanner Connor looks like the best tight end that we had today in today's camp. And on top of it, he was, I guess he's the only one that really wanted the ball today. So I'm going to give it up to Tanner Connor. And I'm glad he's at least trying to step up.
Are you saying he has attended the Colors School of Put Your Eyes on the Football?
I think he's mastered that. Not sure. I think that first pass to him when we threw him into a game, it was really just a fluke. He probably had rookie jitters or something. That's what I think.
That is very encouraging to hear, Ali.
The other thing is he also looked like he bulked up a lot. He's not really skinny or anything.
Well, it's good to know people listen to my show. Yeah,
he looks like on the body side, he's kind of bulked up, and I think he's. I think
now
that
we just need to get Jalen Waddle to listen a little more.
Go ahead, Ali. Finish. Go ahead, sir.
But that's what I like to see from him, right? I am kind of worried though. Other receiver types, and I'm not speaking tight end specifically. Other receivers are not stepping up as much as I thought they would.
Anybody in particular? I mean, like who specific? Hadn't.
Yeah,
you noticed. You had noticed.
I have. I will. I'll tell you who I have noticed and who has not popped for me. Westbrook Ichine, I'm kind of disappointed in, to be honest. He's not. His name is not popping as much as I would like to see it. And I don't know if it's new for him or what the deal is. But what I am kind of encouraged by is that you're getting names that I didn't think about are starting to pop. Prior to him getting injured today, D. Eskridge, his name was popping a lot in camp, right? You saw his name, I think he was Zach Wilson's favorite target at one point. And then you look at who's the guy that caught Theo Weiss, I think is how you say his name. He caught a pass today. You're seeing like guys that are really taking their shot seriously. And then you have guys that I don't know, they just haven't really popped for me yet. You know what I mean? Westbrook Ichine, I think since I've gone to like 2 or 3 days of camp, I've only seen his name called once. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Nothing
interesting.
Not like Willie Gay that's showing up every day. Pick 6 today, by the way, and everything. You know what I mean? Willie Gay is like every day. You know what I mean? I need to start seeing consistency, and Tanner Connor put a ton of consistency today. You know what I mean? So
I heard quietly he's had a good camp though. But to be honest with you, I'm not surprised to hear Tanner really making plays at this point in the offseason because I mean going into last year, remember he was going into the season, he was projected to be the starter as well. But he was replaced, he got hurt, and Jonnu stepped up and kind of filled that void. And we know how that turned out. But Tanner Connor, they were trying to push him into that number one tight end role, but he got banged up. And Jonnu just picked that baton up and just ran with it. So, but definitely intrigued with the talent. He's an ultra talented, relative to the tight end position because he's a converted wide receiver. He was coming out, I think Montana State, I believe it was. He's a 4.3 wide receiver. That's what he was. And now his skill set in terms of his route running, all that was a little unrefined, which is why I'm sure he might not have been the most quickest athlete laterally, which is why I think, because he was a bigger wide receiver. And, generally when wide receivers have size on them, they can have straight line speed, but they might not be the shiftiest laterally. Generally, teams, they try to make they'll try to make a conversion to tight end because if you can get him coached up, put more weight on him and get him stronger, that way he can hold up at the point, and play in line, but don't lose that speed, that straight line, 4.3 straight line speed. They could potentially be an absolute matchup nightmare, kind of like Darren Waller was a converted wide receiver as well at one point. So I think that's what McDaniel, the intrigue has been around Tanner Connor, since we, signed him as an undrafted wide receiver. But it looks like that all that work and that projection is starting to pay dividends right now. So if he can just stay healthy, and I'm very, I can't wait to see how he is in line because I know he's gonna make plays with the ball in his hand. He's a matchup nightmare speed wise on a linebacker or a safety. He's got size. He's 6'3", 6'4", and like I said, he's got 4.3 speed. So him making plays and getting open against linebackers and safeties, that's not a concern for me. Biggest concern is how is he holding up at the point? You know what I mean? Can he play in line?
Yeah.
Now,
wasn't and my bad to interrupt. Wasn't Tanner Connor the one that was having like a first regular season game last year that Tua was potentially throwing the ball to him and he was making a couple of plays there before he came down with the injury? Cause I felt like he was heavily involved at the beginning of last year during the first game.
I know we talked a lot about him in camp last year, but I can't remember if he really.
I'll have to see the numbers.
Yeah, but I definitely hear what EM is saying, and just to be exact, it was Idaho State is where he went to school at.
Oh, Idaho State. Okay. Yeah, Montana State, Idaho State, they all the same.
Yes,
Yeah.
I get you. It's right there. You're right. You're right. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. We'll see what happens with him. I'm kind of hopeful about it. But like you mentioned, guys that are not popping, Jalen Wright hasn't really popped yet for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm hearing quietly too. He might be running back number 4 right now. He's kind of in McDaniel's doghouse again.
He had a fumble today.
Alexander Madison and Achan are the names that are popping. At least the 2 or 3 camps I've been to, he's shown up like a lot. Ollie Gordon, yeah, a little bit, but not as much as I would like. And Jalen Wright just hasn't been good. He hasn't done himself any favors yet.
What do you think? What's going on with Jalen Wright? Because I know it's not anything physically. What do you think? Can you put your finger on like one thing why you think what's contributing to his lack of that's contributing to him not being the impactful player like a lot of us forecasted him to be, especially at this point.
Well, I hate saying this, but I kind of feel like, to be fair, I do think we do need to kind of figure things out on the right side of that line first. watching tape on him and being the fact that he likes to run inside if he can, and even Ollie Gordon, if they're really trying to run in that inside, not having your starting center, your right guard, or now your right tackle, that can be an issue, right? And I kind of think because they're trying to figure things out on the right side of that ball right this moment. It's when they've gone to them, it's been kind of inconsistent. What I don't give excuses for is dropping the ball. And today, Jalen Wright had a fumble today, right? I don't like.
Oh, well, that'll definitely get you. That'll get you in the doghouse quicker than anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That happened today. I'm not happy about it. And that kind of turned me off. So
what's the offensive line? Ali, you mentioned the right side.
Yeah.
What's going on there in regards to the depth?
Well, you right now you have what arguably maybe the second or third string at starting for the center position right now because Aaron Brewer hasn't really made it to practice yet. James Daniels, I heard he was going full, but I don't remember seeing him today. And then Austin Jackson wasn't there at practice day because he's going to be missing some time. So you had Keon Smith filling in for the right guard, and then you had I think they had Brunham at Austin Jackson's position today, and it wasn't very good at all.
Bro, the way this guy Ollie Gordon runs, man, I'm looking at his highlights from college, dude. Like, I know it's just an unknown in its total potential.
Oh,
but holy hot damn, our running back room is good, man.
You just reminded me, Color. Thank you for reminding me. Ollie Gordon did have a really nice pass catch today. I did tell people
just
that
the way he runs and like, dude, he's a shirt untucked kind of guy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
dude, this guy's raw. Bro.
I think his
This
pass
guy's
catching
real good.
ability is underrated.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait to see him as well.
Yeah. For me, I think it has something to do with the line. Maybe he has a lack of confidence because of the line issue. I don't know what it is, to be honest. Because I had some so much hopes for him. I mean, watching his tape at Tennessee, the guy has speed. We know that. And
Number 25.
Yeah, we're talking about Jalen Wright.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about it this early on, dude.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
If we're going into the season and Jalen Wright is your number 4 guy,
I'm not trying to challenge what you're saying, Ali. I'm just saying I'm indifferent to it this early out. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you good, Color. I mean, if we're going into the season and Jalen Wright is your number 4 guy, I mean, I'm not too concerned about that room as a whole. You know what I mean? But I will say this based on my expectations, and I'm sure a lot of the fan base, they've got a lot of, we all have high expectations for him. It's concerning to hear that yet again,
he does have to take the consequences of fumbling the football. Sure.
Yeah, you can't put the ball on the ground.
I'm curious, and I would love to see how he recovers and rebounds from that going forward. You know what I mean?
And it's a long season, bro. Like,
right.
I'm not willing to hit the panic button on him in any stretch. It's such a long season. We've seen players develop over, as seasons get, as they, you get to week 1 to week, 10 to week 17.
Calculus, Ali. If I'm sorry again, Ian, but I just wanted to flush this point out. Does it change your calculus, Ali, if all of the other running backs also have a fumble before the camp is out?
Oh yeah, obviously, then everyone has fumble.
You see what I'm saying, though?
You
see what I'm saying? That's all. That's the only perspective
I get what you're saying, but see, I guess maybe I'm in kind of a shock right now, and this is why. Because prior to going into this training camp, I pegged Alexander Madison to be 1 foot out the door. Maybe he's your number 4 guy, right?
And that part there, I actually am the opposite, the inverse.
But now Alexander Madison's my number 2. Do you understand what that means? And
I had a sneaking feeling he could take number 1 coming in here, bro. I mean, I just watched it. Like, I don't know if it's my TV or what, but I've seen a lot of Alexander Madison in Minnesota, bro.
Well, yeah, I understand he was
They did not miss
Raider
a beat.
too, but
Their running game did not miss one beat when they let Dalvin Cook go, bro. Not one.
I get you.
Just fine, bro.
Hey, and this is. Go ahead, Ali. My bad.
No, I was just gonna say, I just for me, and especially with
He
everyone
wanted
being
more
so
because
high.
of what he. I'm sorry, real quick. Because of what he did in Minnesota, coming in behind Dalvin Cook, he wanted more money than Minnesota thought he was worth or was willing to pay him for that position. That's why they got rid of Dalvin Cook in the first place.
And they went with what's the kid from Green Bay? Aaron Jones.
Right.
They went with Aaron Jones
Who is
anyway.
also a stellar runner. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing of it is, Ali, who was there to swoop in and give that big old sum of money to Madison that he wanted? The same ones that do for everybody. The same ones that gave Twinkle Toes the money.
And
The
I
Raiders.
think with Jalen Wright, I think he could potentially, okay, he had that fumble in practice, but I feel like next practice he learns from it and he continues pushing forward.
EM's probably like Twinkle Toes. I wonder who the hell that is. You don't know about old TT Wilkins? EM?
Twinkle Toes. Who the hell is that?
TT Wilkins.
Who's Twinkle Toe Cutler?
He's referencing somebody that plays for the played for the Raiders, and highlights of what's been said in the news about him. So,
and the fact that the Raiders swooped in and gave him a big old bag that he didn't deserve. Now, I'm not saying Madison didn't deserve whatever the Raiders gave him. I'm just saying that the Vikings weren't willing to pay it. A guy like Aaron Jones came in and said, I'll take this. And they're like, yeah, okay. You know, I mean, it's Aaron Jones. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah.
I'm hyping up Madison.
I've always liked Alexander Madison. I've always liked him. So, I mean, I didn't think he would come in, and I again, my expectation was right. I thought he was
but I'm not like surprised if he actually swooped in and took the number one.
I'm not blown. I'm not blown away. Damn, but I am. I did have a lot of, and I still have those expectations for Jalen Wright. The season is not over with yet. Like, we got so much football to be played, so much development that needs to be made.
We're just talking about pure potential, EM. And subjectivity, I'll be honest here, right? Let's play. You know what I mean? And pipe dream. Do I believe Madison is the best running back in our room? No. And that's a great thing. That's a good problem.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're going into the season and Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon III are your third and fourth running, you're doing something right. That is not a problem. That is not a issue. You know what I mean? So I think he'll come around.
He's a veteran, and he is a stellar runner. So he's likely to actually, because Achane is, I know they're wanting to shift him into a specialty role. Madison could very well end up being RB1 to start the year. He could have just replaced Mostert.
It just might be. I think with Jalen Wright, kind of adjusting to this primary wide zone scheme might be an issue for him. Maybe take him a little long because he said his words, not mine.
If they sense that in Jalen Wright, then getting a guy like Madison is effectively hitting the reset button on a Mostert.
But wasn't Madison a former backup for Dalvin Cook?
Yeah.
In Minnesota, and
he stepped in after they let Dalvin Cook go. He stepped right in and they didn't miss a beat with their running game.
Yeah,
I think he got injured. Maybe. I mean, that might be what
did he hit 1,000 yards at some point after let Dalvin Cook go?
I have to look that up. But I do know he's a deadly running back. Big, pass
strong,
ability included.
I mean, I think with him and Ollie Gordon III, that's a perfect complement of the speedier guys that you have with Achane and Jalen Wright. So, but Jalen Wright, again, his words, not mine. He said that he didn't play much wide zone in Tennessee, so it just might be taking him a little long to adjust.
And that's fine. And that's fine because if he can pick it up even mediocre, even average, all we need him to do, if he's exceptional at the inside zone, then we can specialize him, Ian. But in order to not telegraph to the defense, all he needs to do is run the wide zone sufficiently to where the defense can't be sure that we're specializing him. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's up to McDaniel. I think it's his responsibility to kind of diversify the running game approach.
I'm just saying he doesn't have to be Hall of Fame at doing that. He just has to do it enough to keep the defense guessing.
But I think if the play calling changes somewhat, if McDaniel diversifies the run game approach, not being so dependent on the wide stretch zone, maybe some more inside concepts, gap, power, inside zone, I think that'll be beneficial for all the running backs, not just Jalen Wright. But I just think, it's just like anything, bro. It might just be taking him a little while, a little longer to adjust to that scheme and what the requirements McDaniel were placing on him. I mean, we see it happen all the time, man. Just some guys hit the ground running, and some guys it might just take a little longer for that light bulb to come on. But I'm nowhere near close to hitting a panic button with Jalen Wright. I mean, that is too much talent, bro, to just start really panicking about him now, man. And he's just in year 2, so hopefully he gets up to speed. I think he will. And one thing he can't do, though, he can't keep putting the ball on the ground, bro. He can't do that. Ball security is paramount.
Yeah, but as far as Madison, quantitatively, his stats really ain't all that, dude. I can see why people aren't, it's just he's a deadly at the point runner. It's not a bad, dude, I'm just saying, if he's our guy starting the year with what we got coming up in the wings on potential, I just don't think we're in a bad position.
If we are able to, and when it comes to the running back room with A-Chain and Madison and Jalen Wright and potentially Ollie Gordon and Madison, I feel like if we are able to create something when it comes to the regular season, something that is very consistent, where you are able to run the ball not only with one guy, 2 guy, 3 guy, or 4 guy, that is gonna potentially make this offense explode in the sense that when it comes to passing the ball, I think there's gonna be a lot of plays to be made right there. But it all comes to the running backs and being able to take that next step.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something there. I think we're cooking right there with them. I think we got something special right there, but not yet. But it's there. It's
Ideally,
there.
what we want to see is winning games with a guy like Madison being mediocre to above average, and then something happening where Jalen Wright or Ollie Gordon has to come in and they just kill it. You know what I mean? And we never look back.
So Ali, real quick. Ali, you there?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was double muted for some reason. Yes, sir.
So a question for you, man. Color, you as well. So I know you mentioned tight end. We mentioned obviously the running backs, but the secondary, I'm kind of puzzled as to what you're seeing. What have you seen so far? What are your thoughts
Same way about
as a whole?
I do the running back room.
What's that? Color?
I kind of feel the same way about it that I do the running back room. To be honest with you,
what are y'all thoughts on kind of where the current status of where the secondary is right now?
Sucks that we lost our best tackler on the team.
Yeah. I actually like the 2 new additions. I like Jack Jones and Mike Hilton and their potential in the defense. I think you have to give them a little bit of time to gel with everybody and kind of, build up their chemistry a little bit. So I'm kind of like a wait and see when it comes to those 2 guys. Cam Smith, I'm ready to pull the trigger and release him. Cam Smith.
Plug, you mean?
I'll tell you,
Right.
it broke my heart. The first camp day I went to, he got beat by some undrafted rookie that went to UCF. It was a very easy ball for him to make a play on, and he didn't even put the effort in. Let the receiver run right past him, and then he tried to like hurry up.
Ali even had to throw it went to UCF.
Well, I'm just saying it's some guy I've never really heard of, and that's where he went. I know that for a fact. But my point is that he hasn't popped. He doesn't look like he's putting the full effort in at all. Even Tony and the blitz pickup, which I respect those guys, he even agreed and said that he looks like trash, like dog trash. That was verbatim what he said.
So real quick, about our secondary. I'm sorry, Ali. I gotta get this out there. I feel confident going forward with potential and development simply because of one name, bro. Anthony motherfucking Weaver.
Amen, color. Amen, color. I'm with you.
I believe that whatever he's building and whatever he's going to do is going to be gold, no matter how long it takes. I don't know why, man.
Now, just
but what's going on with Cam Smith, man?
Before we get into that, just to finish my thought real quick, in regards to the other guys, they're not doing anything horrible. It's not like they're getting burnt downfield like all the time, really bad. I've just seen a lot more effort in the other guys than I had from Cam Smith at that point.
I think with Cam Smith,
I just believe if they all put 100% effort into doing what Anthony Weaver instructs them to do, we're gold.
I think what's going on with Cam Smith, I think his confidence might be absolutely shot, bro. You know what I mean? And a lot of his issues have been self-inflicted, but I just think his confidence is gone. And as a corner, you listen to Deion Sanders, you listen to Rod Woodson, you listen to Darrell Reeves' of the world, the greats. One thing as a corner you cannot lose is your confidence. You got to have, no memory as a corner. If you get beat,
you got to be the dog. The corner is the dog on the team.
If you get beat,
Deion Sanders. Do we need to name them all?
If you get beat by a 70-yard touchdown, it's like you need to come back the next play and act like it never happened. You can't lose your confidence. I think with him, he's probably struggling with that right now.
I definitely understand where you're coming from in regards to confidence. You're absolutely right. There was a guy, I know you mentioned Rod Woodson. I'm actually gonna name another Woodson. That's Charles Woodson, right? Charles Woodson, when he was in college for University of Michigan, when he went up against Ohio State, he had like a Muhammad Ali fight with David Boston, and I'll never forget it. He talked all this shit just like Muhammad Ali would, and he backed it up in the fight. Right? He had all the confidence, and you have to have
throw another name out there.
Position. You're absolutely right.
The guy get burned deep and just would come back every play, every season, and hammer out arguably a Hall of Fame career as Terrell Buckley. Like, how many times he got burnt and got his name shit on in the media over the years just to come back every week and shut somebody down and just keep going and going and going. Terrell Buckley, dog.
You can't lose your confidence as a corner. If once you do that, you're done. And it might take a change of scenery for him to kind of recalibrate and kind of rebuild that aspect of his game, because obviously it's not working in Miami. So
he got to go to Chicago. That seems to be where they do good. I don't know, bro.
But I just don't understand how Cam Smith, he was a second-round draft pick, and you potentially have the opportunity to be a top secondary member for the Dolphins, and then yet again you lose your confidence level. Like, you're going against Tyreek Hill, you're going against Jalen Waddle, potentially very top 15 wide receivers. And
That'll do it.
Yeah,
both of them they tend to have that effect on some of the best quarterbacks in the league. So
you got to be coaching that to him. They got to be like, "Yo, don't beat yourself up. Come on."
Yeah, but if you just went through 2 different defensive coordinators and both of them couldn't find a role for you in this defense on the regular, that really itself kind of hurts your confidence, right? That itself,
I mean, I understand
negative aura on yourself.
Incumbent upon the coaching staff to say to him to get it through to him that, hey, now if they're holding him accountable because he can't shut down Tyreek Hill, I mean, that's a little unfair. You know what I mean?
See, it's not. But see, I think with confidence can come in. Confidence, it's just not his play on the field. You know, he's been dinged up every year. Like you see him now, he's been shut down for a couple.
Not having confidence.
He might not in his body.
Right.
He might not have confidence in his body either. You know what I mean? And bro, you got to have your wheels. If you definitely if you don't have confidence in your wheels, you are surely toasted. So I think it's a lot of those things going on with Cam Smith right now.
It doesn't necessarily make you afraid or scared, but it gets you thinking about those things.
Yeah, and once you're thinking, you hesitate.
On the field, you're a half step slower than everybody else.
There you go. You're hesitating. You know what I mean? You're not reacting. You're thinking too much. You're not reacting.
And you know what happens when your team goes cross country, and that means you're a half slower than another team that's got Fred Taylor as their running back. You know what that causes? 62-7. That's what that causes.
But let me ask Ali. In regards to Cam Smith, and you were at training camp. Have you seen him work? Like you seen him work with the ones and potentially switch over to the 2s or 3s? What are you seeing in regards to the aspect?
So I went day 1 with the that we were allowed to go to, right, as fans. And day 1, he wasn't working with the ones at all. They had him with the 3s and 4s.
Yeah.
In fact, the guy they have on the other side of Storm Duck was what was it? Sheffield, I think his name is, EM. Number 14. I think that's who it is.
I'm sorry, Ali. What's that again? I'm sorry, bro.
The guy that they have on the boundary is number
Kendall
14.
Kendall Sheffield. Kendall Sheffield.
Yeah, that's who they that's who they have going right now, and that's where I expected Cam Smith to be, right? But no, he was playing with the 3rd and 4th ace. That's who he's with, and like I said, the UCF free agent wide receiver, the undrafted guy, smoked him really bad, and he didn't look like he put any effort.
What was his first name again, guys? I'm sorry.
Kendall Sheffield.
Kendall. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, I think we actually brought him in to be a special teams ace originally. I thought. I could be wrong.
But if he's playing on the 3 and 4 on the first day of practice, I feel like there's a sense in the Dolphins defensive unit that they're potentially moving on from him.
He played for Thurgood Marshall High School in Missouri City, Texas.
Yeah, I don't
Kendall Sheffield did.
Team.
Yep.
Yeah, Kendall Sheffield.
Selected by the Falcons from Ohio State in the 4th round in 2019.
Another Texas boy. But yeah, man.
Played for the Texans and the Cowboys too. Well, was on their roster.
But you know what, Ali. You know, to your point about you're not seeing the secondary get burnt, give up big plays and getting beat deep. See, that to me, that's very encouraging because that lets you know they've got, because again, one thing that, leading into the off season, a couple times when I was in a Twitter space or had private conversations, when we would kind of dialogue about the secondary, what was encouraging for me was the overall level of athleticism in that room, like inexperienced, unrefined, but raw athleticism. Like you look at, I know we just talked about Cam Smith, but his, level of athleticism, Storm Duck, Ethan Bonners, Jason Marshall Jr.'s of the world. Now you throw Jack Jones in the midst, Cater Cole. These are all 9+. All of them has 9+ RAS scores. In terms of, again, we know what that relative athletic score means, right? It's a test. It's testing. And to get a better gauge on the level of athleticism of players at their respective positions, so that was encouraging for me. So when you say yeah, they haven't been great, and they're not taking the ball away, and they're, you don't see Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard out there. However, but you're not seeing them give up big plays. That's encouraging moving forward, because once you get to the regular season and if that consistency travels and you combine that with a better pass rush that you didn't have last year, well, then I think that's going to aid them that's going to push them, to get more production out of that secondary even further, because, they virtually had no pass rush last year for the most part. So now you have that available to you. And to Color's point about the play caller that Anthony Weaver is, that makes me sleep a lot better at night in terms of what my expectation for the secondary as a whole is going to be come week one.
And I'm glad you actually brought that up, Ian, because to be fair, to Cam Smith, okay, I'm trying to give him the benefit of doubt. And just going to camp and seeing like where he's at now, it's very disappointing based on where we drafted him. If you understand what I mean by that, but I'll be fair about what you're saying. I have said that the identity of this defense is that front seven. That front seven is very dominant, strong. I can see a lot of organic pressure coming from them eventually. And the way that our linebackers are set up, they're all really good tacklers. They can hit the gaps. And you could also, it looks like we're going more to a zone scheme than anything that we were doing before with man on man. That being said, you look at guys like Jack Jones or a Mike Hilton, right? You look at maybe some of these other corners that we got.
Mike Hilton's a stud. Why are we not more
hold on,
hyping that up more than we are?
Please let me finish this, please. You look at Marshall, you look at Trader that we got out of Maryland. You look at some of the undrafted guys. What do they have all in common? They're all good tacklers. They don't mind getting their hands dirty, right? So it's not about having the man-on-man shutdown skill. It's about just holding your own. And when you need to make the tackle, you make the tackle.
Ali, what has been the biggest problem on our team that we've been harping since we started this network?
Tackling. That's my opinion.
Sounds like Mr. Weaver has identified the same problem. People standing around with their thumbs up their rear.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is the fact that I think that they're looking to, have the main focus on the defense is that front seven. Our secondary is really designed to just provide
ball
coverage
to the ground
to that and to slow the game down. That's basically what I think it's there
now,
for.
Real quick, this guy Mike Hilton. Like when I think of Anthony Weaver, his personality, his culture that I believe he's developing, like Mike Hilton fits that. Like Weaver's bringing in guys that are like his essence on the field. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Ian.
Yeah, and also like, see, that's why I think to your point, Ali, the lack of not giving up the big play, because if you're out there and you're not giving up big plays as a secondary, and you're keeping everything in front of you, and if Anthony Weaver, if we're gonna see more, a zone-based approach, and that pass rush, is meets its potential that we all think that they can get to. I mean, all of a sudden, you don't need to have Jalen Ramsey on the outside. You don't need to have Xavier Howard. You don't need to have Darrell Revis on the outside, because the coverage, the scheme, the coverage, and the pass rush, it's a marriage, they go hand in hand. So, but as long as you're not out there giving up big plays, that's the concern of any coordinator, defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Because if you're able to keep everything in front of you,
the linebackers have to get the ball to the ground at let's say the 1.5 level. You got what I mean? We talk about the second level and all that. You're already beating the NFL if the ball's in the second level, dude.
But I feel like, and I'm sorry to interrupt, I feel like if there's a deficiency with the secondary and we're very vulnerable at that position, I believe if the front seven, like you guys mentioned, is able to get to a quarterback and put that pressure, that could become a big key to this season coming up.
Sure. And EM, just to clarify what I meant, I've always talked about Cater Kohu being the surest open field tackler on our team. That's a compliment to Cater. That's not a compliment to our team. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not a compliment that your corner is the best tackler on your team.
Mm-hmm.
That means that for us to know that means guys are consistently getting into the second level on us.
I will say this though, as a tackler,
at the 1.5 level,
Cater is special though as a tackler.
Oh, he can hold a class. He can
special,
hold a camp
man.
every year, bro. He can hold the Cater Kohu School of Tackling, bro.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I always felt like Cater had his skill set is more better suited for at safety, in my opinion. He's already a nickel guy.
That nickel, yeah. I mean,
he's already playing a nickel, right? And again, his level of aggression, his size, his build. Look at him. Look how muscular he is. He processes extremely well. How many plays have we seen consistently over the years? Him blowing up plays in the backfield.
Dude. His open field technique is perfect. It's like he's hitting a sled every time, dude. You know what I mean? It's like up, over, down. Up, over, drive, down. Up, over, chop the feet down. You know what I mean? Done.
Yeah,
get
but
low,
we all know
we're low, lift up, drive over, chop the feet, go drive down. You know what I mean? And he does it like
we all know we're not going to have Cater coming up. He's out for the season.
Yeah, that was man, talk about a gut punch. Man, I thought this might have been the year that Cater really ascends to another level.
And we could lose that flank that we're talking about, Ian, because he's really adept at holding down that flank. Where if they run a toss sweep or something and he's 1-on-1, you're not getting by him. Even if you shed him, he is taking you because he gets so low and his technique is so sound that he will basically accost your whole body all the way down to your shoestrings. And all he needs to, his whole intention, if you're too big for him to get down, is to at least hold you up, to make you that half step slower we were talking about earlier for the rest of the team to do their job.
But I think I will say Cater is definitely going to be a lost. But if you look at it, I know it's a much, much smaller sample size, but I think Storm Duck has that aspect to his game, and I know Jack Jones does. Like, you put on his Oakland tape.
If they're all, iron sharpens iron. If they're all working with Cater, you know what I mean? And that guy can hold a camp.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that they're constantly being reinforced with the proper techniques. You know what I mean? Especially since it seems like Weaver has also identified that as a problem and is addressing it. I'm sure he's also addressing it in his coaching style. Like, hey, I'm sorry to be condescending to you all and patronizing, but we need to learn how to tackle again. You know what I mean? And hey, Cater, come over here and teach these guys how to tackle.
Yeah.
Color Ali, how do y'all feel about the linebacker room as a whole?
Oh, bro, I think this is one of the better linebacker rooms we've had in a while.
Again,
I mean, come on, Jordy Brooks. You know what Jordan Brooks is gonna do? That guy's a steal. Ty Dodson's gonna he'll step up when he needs to, right? But then you got Willie Gay. Willie Gay's been all over the place in training camp. Today he even had a pick six. I'm sorry, that linebacker room's good. I'm even happy with Kenny Britt being in there doing some cleanup work when he needs to. Right.
I just named Gay destroyed 2 Japanese cities, but that's a whole nother subject. You know what I mean?
All I'm saying is that I'm happy with that room. It's nothing. I don't see anything that's disappointing. Now, have I seen Tyndall's name called a lot? Not a lot at all, if any. So right now it's been Willie Gay
again, bro.
I mean, but
there's him in the Cam Smith club, Ali.
I'm not going to put him in the Cam Smith club because I've seen at least a little bit more effort from him than I have of Cam
Did you
Smith.
see number 53 at all in Cam?
53.
Cameron?
No, I have not. Thank you for bringing him up. I have not. What I will say is this. you guys have told me there's a lot of camp still, so let's see what happens. But right now, I'm comfortable with where that room is at. I don't think we got to add anybody more, to be honest. I do have a question. I hate to change the subject, but I do have I do have a question on another player that that we have that we need to address in regards financially. And I don't want to go too long with it because I was getting ready to want to start getting ready to shut this down. But in recent days, I would say it was either yesterday, I think I saw it reported. The defensive lineman from the Broncos signed a new deal. Allen signed like over $100 million deal with like $69 million guaranteed. Does that mess with us re-signing Zach Seiler?
It shouldn't. It shouldn't by any stretch. I mean, Seiler is the heart and soul of this team. He has been for a long time. I know there was a lot of people that wanted to, and again, I know no shade at Christian Wilkins, but I've always felt like Seiler, like he sets the tone not only on the field but off the field. When you see how unselfish he is as a player, when you see how unselfish he is in terms of taking hometown discounts consistently, bro, that is huge for not only on the field but in that locker room. And he's consistently, he's a lunch pail type of player. Puts his head down, comes to work, no drama, no issues at all. He's the face. I know Tua gets a lot of credit as being, or other players they get more credit in terms of being like, the face of the franchise. No, that guy is a true face of this franchise, in my opinion. He's a heart and soul.
Right.
So
and if you can make a case for anybody to get more money than, let's say, they're worth now because of their age, it would be him, because he's deserved that back pay, in my opinion.
Man, I think, I heard him at the podium when he was talking about he feels like his best years are ahead of him. I definitely could.
Even if you didn't think that as an organization, you got to pay him like it is, because
you
could
have
argue
to. He's earned it. He's already earned that.
Right. This is one case where he is actually producing and is actually worth back paying what he's already done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think no, you don't want to play around with him, bro. That any other contracts being signed shouldn't impact him. His, what he has going on, and the negotiation process with the Dolphins. It shouldn't.
Well, for him, it just may be a matter of timing for him and them, where it's like, look, I know what we got going on. He might be in the books himself. They could have opened their books to him as a trustee, as a core player, and say, okay. And he's like, look, I see what's going on. For the most part, I'm sure they're hiding stuff still, but you know what I mean? They're not going to show all their cards. But you know what I mean? He's probably aware enough to know that it's just a matter of timing, where we'll be in a situation where we're not in a hurtful situation as far as our roster goes, where we might be improving or be on track, window, whatever you want to call it, and they have the money, and it's like, okay, now the timing is right, you can't avoid it, pay me, and for everything I've already earned.
So that's actually segueing into my next question, EM. You're saying it doesn't really mess with us being able to re-sign Zach Seiler.
It shouldn't.
So my next question is, well, what is the holdup? Is it because they've revealed to him what their next steps are, and he's bought into that whole, what do they call it, the whole agenda, or is is it a matter of
angle I just presented, Ali, pretty much on one token, right?
Is it a matter of the fact that they, he wants a certain amount and they're kind of like jockeying back and forth still? Like, where do you think we're at with re-signing?
Well, I think it's inevitable. It's coming. I think, Seiler, I mean, if you listen to him, he basically he's pretty confident a deal is going to get done. I think both sides are comfortable where they're at right now. I've heard all off season that a contract extension with Seiler was coming. That was a priority for the Dolphins. And so I don't think there's anything, barring the unforeseen, I think the deal gets done sooner rather than later. Definitely before this. I thought, to be honest with you, I thought a deal would have been done by now, but I definitely feel like before the season starts, a deal definitely gets done for him. But I think it's all of the above, though. When you talk about the negotiation process, I mean, everything is on the table. Like, there's always, a give and a take, a back and forth. I mean, you just don't want, either side. You just don't want to cave and make concessions when you don't necessarily have to. Everybody's trying to jockey for position, right? And, so they can all come out looking like they won, they won the negotiation process so when you talk about negotiating, you talk about millions of dollars, you talk about players and front offices, everything is on the table, everything is in play. So
right, and that's what I meant.
Can I say something real quick,
if he's aware of the plan and following it, like Ali suggested, the first option, then he knows that it's just a matter of timing to where they'll have the money where he won't have to negotiate anything and he'll get what he wants.
Can I say something in that perspective? I think when it comes to the situation with Zach Sealer, is that he's being valued, but I feel with the whole contracts that the front office has always thrown out to certain players, and then after they get those contracts, they're not performing. I think that's something from not getting the deal done yet. But I do agree with EM.
Sealer, that's just an excuse because everybody knows Sealer's not built that way.
No, I know, but I feel the front office is just protecting themselves. They just, I don't know. Right now,
of course. Yeah, I'm just saying that they're precisely doing that. They're protecting themselves with a common perception of the world that, this and that. But we all know Sealer ain't built that way.
But we know. That's why everything is on a table in terms of the negotiation process. Yeah. Because you got to make some concessions as a player and as a front office, because you don't want to, you just don't want to cave and give either side everything they want, So there has to be a level of protection for the front office and the player as well. So at the end of the day, I think it's gonna get done, bro. Sooner rather than later, definitely before the season starts.
Yeah,
I just think he's betting on because of inflation and all that. I think he's betting on the idea that what he considers to be in even a year to be generational life-changing money is going to be considered a drop in the bucket to them. He knows that's coming, just like anybody else.
I understand, but like what I'm worried about, and this is kind of like my thought process. My worry is the fact that this is a move that it's not that the Dolphins want to make it or kind of like 50-50. This is a move that they kind of have to make, right? Because to be honest, Zach, if you just look at the position alone, this is a position that technically, and the level of play that they're expecting from this starter, right? It's setting the tone for their entire defense. This whole defense now, we just got done talking about how that front seven is the whole identity of this defense, right? Without Zach Seiler, I don't know if that defense has the same amount of a presence that they would technically with him. You know what I mean? So for me, they kind of have to make this move.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
And they have to. I think the longer we wait, it could be really bad, and that's kind of why I'm worried. I want them to hurry up and just get it done, so then we can move on and address other areas of the team. You know what I mean? I
agree with you, Ali. Certain players, as an organization, depending on the value of that player to their respective teams, certain players you just don't play with in terms of negotiation. Every team has them. Cornerstone players, foundational players, whatever label you want to put on them, every team has them. And he's just one of those players I think the Dolphins have to pay him for not only the impact on the field, but like I said, just off the field, like his impact. I mean, no, he's the heart and soul, bro. He's the,
That's our foundational player.
yeah, like Pittsburgh has Cam Hayward.
Isn't he
They've had
keeping the Burmese python population down in Forest?
what's that color?
Isn't he keeping down the Burmese python population?
Oh, I have no idea I don't know what you're talking about.
I think he's talking about the fact that Zach Seiler is like he's like a hunter because like I don't know if he's
like
from the Michigan area, so he's kind of like a blue collar kind of guy.
Alligator wrestler type, you know?
Yeah, I know what you meant, but I do agree with what you were saying even earlier about him being on and off the field. Let's not forget when he was mic'd up, I think it was against the Ravens game. Every time the offense was, made a big play or he was even coming off the field, he was there to congratulate them and get them riled up and everything. He is the heart and soul of his defense. Let's just be real, right? And I think when you got guys like Kenny Chickpea, when you have guys like Biggers or even Jordan Phillips, right? You want a Zach Seiler in that room to kind of help lead them. You know what I mean? So, and you mentioned Cam Hayward. That's a really, really good example. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you, Ali. Like, his mentorship, because Kenneth Grant is ultimately, hopefully, he's going to slide into that role whenever Seiler is no longer physically able to be the player that he is now. Hopefully, that turns out to be Kenneth Grant. You got Jordan Phillips. You drafted Zeke Biggers. He's a mentor. I mean, those players, they look up to him. His status on the team, his status as an NFL player, they all look up to him. I mean, when you listen to him, they're like I heard Chubb. He mentioned he's like, bro. Every time you look up, it's like they're following him around like a puppy dog. They're like they're in his back pocket, and they should be. So his mentorship with these younger players that he drafted this past year is invaluable. So and I know the Dolphins realize that they understand, that level of impact that he has, on that in that room. So no, I don't think they're gonna play around with him. They'll get that, like I said, it'll be done sooner rather than later.
And I feel with Seiler and Kenneth Grant, I think that's our future when it comes to being the top dogs when it comes to our D line. I think there's something right there cooking right now.
By the way, EM, as far as getting back to the how do we replace the lead blocking ability of one Alec Ingold? Well, maybe we just turn Sealer into the icebox Perry and give him the football.
What's going on with Engel? What's going on with him?
We'll just call him the icebox instead of refrigerator. Like
they did it with Christian Wilkins, didn't they?
Yeah,
what I mean?
That's right.
So what, like money wise or
no, like football wise, like we're at the goal line and he like lead blocks or takes the ball in.
But like everything go with him on his perspective of being involved with this team, or
can you imagine what Zach Sealer's stiff arm would be like?
My God, Tyler.
Color,
we don't want to imagine that.
Let me jump in this chat real quick. Hey man, shout out to Game Boy.
You were gonna go right to that. I figured. I knew Ali probably was talking about closing it down, but I don't know if you wanted to finish up with just addressing Game Boy. I figured you would.
yeah. Shout out to Game Boy 305. Always respect to you, bro. He said, sure. Ian, what's good, bro? What are your thoughts on Christian Wilkins? Will you bring him back for the cheap? Oh, absolutely. I would entertain that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, listen, for the right price,
what's
yeah, exactly what is cheap. But
go ahead.
But absolutely, I would entertain that. I mean, I don't, I've had this conversation with privately with people, and some people are sour on Christian Wilkins, and they don't want to entertain the possibility at all. Like, I'm not one of those people. Like, no, I mean, I think if real quick, if the Dolphins are able to attain Christian Wilkins for their price and under their terms, it's clearly the best defensive line in all of football. It ain't even close. And I mean, you can include Philly in that conversation. You can include the Rams in that conversation. That would elevate this D line to the best D line in football.
I would say our WAR number would be at least 1.5 by adding him. I kind of tend to agree with you there.
So let me just push back just a little bit, EM, just a little bit. First of all, even if you were to get him on the cheap, which if you could do that, that would be awesome. You still got to pay Zach Seiler. I don't care what anybody tells you.
Yeah.
Long term, Zach Seiler.
That's the first thing you do. You lock him up first.
And number two, here's the question I have. This is where I have a little pushback. The question I have is, bringing Christian Wilkins back, wouldn't that deter your development of the guys that you just drafted this season? Being the fact that you just brought in Kenny G, the fact that you just brought in Biggers and Jordan Phillips, wouldn't that kind of isn't that kind of redundant to what you already did?
I don't think so. Listen, I love Kenneth Grant. I love Kenneth Grant before the draft process, right? Love his upside, love his ceiling, everything he brings to the table. But let's be real. Let's not forget about how dominant Christian Wilkins was and still is, right? Again, before he got hurt, he still was performing like a top 3 defensive tackle in the league. Listen, as much as I love Kenneth Grant, can we put money on him giving you that level of production that we saw from Christian Wilkins? If I'm a betting man, no, I'm betting no on that. But I don't think if you attain him, you acquire him for your terms. If you're the Dolphins, I don't understand how that would be it would be a deterrent in terms of stunting the development of Grant and others on a team. You need bodies. We all know how especially the last 2 to 3 years, how injuries just have absolutely decimated his team. And so, no, I think he would benefit by sitting behind them. Nothing is guaranteed him. Yeah, you were drafted 13th overall, but at the end of the day, you're not going to come in and be the level of player that Christian Wilkins is. None of these guys. I don't care if you were drafted. Well, maybe if you're, but no, I love Kenneth Grant, but I don't think he's going to come in and give you the level of dominance out the gate.
But why bring Christian Wilkins back?
Because you want to win?
No, but knowing that with his current foot injury,
if you not really, that's.
Hey, good morning, John.
Nobody knows if that's even true at this
point.
Good
morning,
brother. G2.
What's good, G?
What's going on, G?
Color, Andy, EM, Ali.
What up, dude?
What up, man? Hey, we need Christian Wilkins about as bad as we need another slot receiver, man. Come on now, we set pretty much on the D line, man. We need to worry about that secondary, or finding a tight end.
That D line, that's what's going to help the secondary.
Yeah, that sounds good in theory, man, but you already know teams are going to dink and dunk the hell out of us, bro. If our corners are young and naive and they're going to bite on the double move every time, all right, so what does Tua do when he got a defense coming at him real quick? He gets the ball out quick. That negates all that pass rush we're talking about. Pass rush sounds good, but we already know the counter to that is just to drop it off right behind them. You know what I mean? We got good linebackers, but I'm worried about that space in between, behind the linebackers, in front of the safeties. I think it's going to be very vulnerable, and that's what teams are going to attack, bro.
But you know how you negate that? See, teams can't deke if you consistently in third and long. Teams can deke and dunk you up and down the field. Now, what Christian Wilkins will do is this. He was graded out of the top run defender for 3 years in a row at his position, and I don't think there's much drop off in that, production wise in that regard. So if you acquire him, you know what you're getting. You're going to be the best. I'll say this: you definitely will be the best run defensive D line in the entire NFL. And if teams can't run on you with any level of consistency, well, that takes away the dinking and dunking. If you 3rd and 8, 80% of the time, 75% of the time, that eliminates that whole possibility. And then if you can't dig and dunk, well, you got to hold on to the ball longer. You got to attack, that intermediate and that third level of the field, and that's where your pass rush comes in.
Well,
Not only on the edge, but that interior pass rush with.
How do you practice that when you have a quarterback and a style of your own offense that already has the ball out by then? How do you actually refine those skills in practice?
Color, that's how I'm thinking. It's like, man, shit, going up against Tua, we're gonna see our defense is gonna see a lot of dinking and dunking in practice. And yeah, I mean that's gonna prepare them for what we're gonna face all season because again, you see how many times have you
What
seen
I'm saying is, how do
where-
you practice against, let's say comeback drills and scramble drills when
Caller, I'm
do
sorry
that
to
with
interrupt
your own
you.
offense?
Caller, I'm really sorry to interrupt you. My wife's telling me she needs to take me out of this show. You think you can close it down?
I gotta probably go too. It's getting a little late. I got some work to do, but we're probably. Unless G.
Yeah, I just wanted to slide in, man, say what's up, everybody, man. That's all. I appreciate y'all just letting me come up for a second, man. I mean, but yeah, man, the secondary that shit got me thinking that's where they're gonna attack. But yeah, you got to dip, and it is what it is, bros. I'm glad to been up here for a second. Hey, is
I'm
Crypto
sorry,
up here?
G. I'd hang out later, but my wife's telling me I gotta go, man.
One
That's
other
what's up,
reminder.
Ali. Always respect to you, bro.
One
Thank
other
you.
reminder.
I appreciate that.
Help Big
Great,
Nick out.
great
Get
show,
back
Ali.
to the kids. That's hashtag or $ Big Nick South Florida, all one word, at Cash App. Hit him up for some money. Send him some money, some donations. What do you say? Every $50 gets 6 backpacks for the kids, fully loaded with school supplies. So
yeah, they're doing a school supply.
Okay.
Definitely check that out. Yeah, any donations. He even said it doesn't matter if it's like 50 cents, $1, every bit helps. They're basically, it purchases a backpack full of school supplies. And I think you said you're right. It's like for every $50, it's like 6 or 7 backpacks.
What's the website so I could go ahead and
his
donate?
Cash App, the easiest way to do it, you can hit him at Big Nick South Florida Accountability on YouTube. But his Cash App ace is $ Big Nick South Florida, all one word, no underscores, all caps.
All right.
If you're out there and you can hear my voice, it's definitely a good cause. It's one that we should all try to make ourselves get involved. You know what I'm saying? Help the kids. Nick loves the kids. The Fence Tailgate loves the kids. Everybody loves the kids. So
definitely,
it's for
man.
a good cause, man. Dig deep if you got it.
All right.
Every little bit helps.
Yeah, every little bit definitely helps. But with
Man,
that
that's
said,
what's up.
gentlemen, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for coming. Thank you, EM, for coming through and answering the elephant in the room, because nobody was really, no one was losing sleep on Ingold, like I said. Just kidding. No.
Yeah.
In all honesty, though, thank you for the great conversation. G, it was great seeing you. Ace, thank you for coming by. Everyone that hang out with us, thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like button, turn on notification bell, and subscribe if you're brand new. And check out the other shows. I know tomorrow we got some stuff going on and more Trainng camp to talk about. But with that, everyone have a great night. Have a great weekend. Fins up.
Yup.